the football talk show that holds back nothing on opinions.
Straight shooting LJA.
Hi, I'm John Sitton.
Grassroots coach Manisha Taylor.
Hello, I'm Rob Perez.
The G-Man.
Samira Sawney, Motivate Sports and Fitness.
Christian Carambeu.
Matt Hodgson, Director of the 4-Year Plan.
We the people, for the people. Jazzy Fizzle.
Your Monday night footballing fix.
Make sure you join the revolution.
The pitch is where we eat.
The pitch is where we sleep.
And the pitch is where we talk. Each and every Monday night of your lives.
At youtube.com/pitch talk.
For podcast links and information, check out our official website www.pitch-talk.com. Ladies and gentlemen, Pitch Talk proudly presents a full sit-down interview with the current chairman of Alexandra Park FC, Director of Student Development at a secondary school, has played for APFC for 9 years and seen the club rise and help the SAL with their sponsorship. To ask Dave a question, email pitchtalk@gmail.com with Dave McLaughlin in the subject line. Pitch Talk meets Dave McLaughlin, coming soon.
Hello, I'm Rob Perez.
Grassroots coach Manisha Taylor.
Christian Carambeu.
Matt Hodgson, Director of the 4-Year Plan.
Dave McLaughlin.
I'm Rob Lusher.
Andy Copeland from the Glennet Southern Amateur League.
Philip Wick, I'm CEO of 14.
Former Chairman of Ibis FC.
Chairman of Alexandra Park FC.
And you're listening to
Pitch Talk.
The only place to get your Monday night footballing fix.
Because the pitch is where we eat.
The pitch is where we sleep.
And the pitch is where we talk. Make sure you join the revolution, the football revolution.
Hi, I'm John Sitton and I'm here with Gavin, Liam and Gerald on Pitch Talk.
The football talk show that pulls no punches and holds back nothing on opinions.
Hello, I'm Rob Perez. My name is Christian Carambeu.
I'm Grassroots coach Manisha Taylor.
Hi, I'm Matt Hodgson, Director of the 4-Year Plan, and you're listening to Pitch Talk, the only place to get your Monday night footballing fix.
Make sure you join the revolution.
The pitch is where we eat.
The pitch is where we sleep.
And the pitch is where we talk.
I'm Andy Copeland from the Glennet Southern Amateur League.
Philip Wick, I'm CEO of 14.
I'm Rob Lusher, former Chairman of Ibis FC.
I'm Samira Sawney, co-founder and co-director of Motivate Sports and Fitness.
And you're listening to
Pitch Talk.
Hello, everybody. Hello, all ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. We are here bringing you the football talk show that pulls no punches and holds back nothing, and we do mean nothing, on opinions. Because the pitch is where we eat, the pitch is where we sleep, and the pitch is where we talk. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, straight shooting LJA, the G-Man and Jazzy Fizzle are here live, bringing you your Monday night footballing fix. We are live right now on Mixler, mixler.com/pitch-talk. Also, via our official website, we are live as well, www.pitch-talk.com. We are live as live can be, baby. It's one of them ones, baby. We are live. But, yeah, www.pitch-talk.com is the official website where you can find out everything Pitch Talk. Also, facebook.com/pitch talk. Become a fan, become a friend, become a member of the group. Join the footballing revolution. We are working so hard to create. myspace.com/pitch talk. pitchtalk.blogspot.com or .co.uk will get you to the blogs, including blogs by yours truly, Straight Shooting LJA, the G-Man, Jazzy Fizzle, and many others, including a couple blogs by Dave Mear, aka @Mearsey on Twitter, especially his new one about Leeds United. Leeds United will be involved in the general talking points tonight. So stick around for that, because we got a lot to say about Leeds, especially some breaking news that's come out just this afternoon as well. But also, at Pitch Talk on Twitter, or twitter.com/Pitch Talk is where you can tweet with us, follow us, and see what we are up to. 07535804466 is the mobile number. Also, Pitch Talk 1 on Skype as well. You know what? It's about 12 minutes gone. Everton 0, West Brom 0. We'll be bringing you more updates as they come through. One of them was just as we see a close-up of,
Saido Berahino.
Yeah, before that,
And Seamus Coleman.
Yeah. Not together at the same time, not locked together, and but yeah, we're coming. But it is, baby, one of them ones where we also say youtube.com/Pitch Talk as well. You heard the advert just as the show started. Pitch Talk meets Dave McLaughlin, the chairman at Amateur League Club 14 Southern Amateur League side, Alexandra Park FC. Well, let us have a look at that advert and get your questions in, because, baby, we will be sitting down with Dave McLaughlin very, very soon. So get those questions in. You know what? It is about that time, baby. Jesse, how's it going, man, by the way, before we swing into the first segment of the show?
No, it's going good, man. I have to say, shout out to my family, shout out to my familia, you know what I mean? Shout out to my ex-wife, shout out to my next wife, you know what I mean? Listen, shout out to the Pitch Talk family as well, because you know what I mean? It's we the people for the people, and that's for life. So, yeah, it's great to be here. Great to be on Monday Night Football and Fix. I'm looking forward to what's looking to be a very, very tasty game between Everton and West Brom, which we'll be covering live as well. But tell me, straight shooting one, what about you? How you doing? Or should I say, how you doing?
I'm very good, baby. Wait. Didn't you say that a little earlier as you made your entrance?
What?
As you made your entrance to the building? Don't think I'm not going to hold the door open for you, baby.
Hey. I'm just saying this.
I was thinking disco fever, and you were thinking, hey, baby, what's going on, baby? Dude was trying to season the ladies like his Dusty Rhodes, baby.
Oh, wow.
Oh, it was fantastic. But yeah, it's been a good weekend. Back in action for the Ibis Freeze again.
Yeah.
We'll get into that later in the grassroots segment. And yeah, I went to visit my auntie and her husband as well, so it was fantastic. It was actually fantastic. And then went to my mum's yesterday.
Shout out to your auntie, shout out to her husband, shout out to your mama, man.
Good stuff.
Love to the family.
Damn right, you damn right. Health is wealth, and family are lovely. Try to figure out a rhyme there.
No. Just
we're not doing the -5 already.
Well, we probably should give
not yet. I don't know what the hell is going on, but you know what? It is time to give a couple of shout-outs, actually. Big shout-outs to Motivate Sports and Fitness, at MotivateSF on Twitter and www.motivatesportsandfitness.com. And that is a horrible challenge on Ross Barkley. Right through the back of it, right in front of you. Yeah, by Gardner.
Yeah, that was...
He's going to come by right in front of you. But also, big shout-outs to Girls on the Ball. And also... Of course, big shout-outs to the G-Man as well. So it's one of them ones. You know what?
Hey, don't forget Pitch Talk's favourite rabbit.
Scotty! Of course.
Beam us up, man. Beam us up. But
you know what? It is actually time for us to roll into the very first segment of the show, which is... results and analysis. We got text from you on the mobile 07555-804-466. That's the mobile. Yes. Results and analysis. Before we go into results and analysis, I just want to read out a big shout out, and we throw them tees up to the man they call Big T.
One half of the tag team champions of the world. I'm being a wrong'un.
Big T has sent us in. Have a good show, guys. Oh my God. Sadly, my eyesight has gotten worse since my last text. Therefore, I am making frequent trips to the doctors. He said that my eyesight will continue to deteriorate if I continue this course of action with my right. Oh my God. No! Self high fives. Anyway, too much of that will make you blind, apparently. Anyhow, we'll speak soon once I'm back in the danger zone from the Morrison's Canteen. Big T! Oh my God. I love it. We gotta love it. Big T, nice one on the text there, baby. One of those. Remember, we are on mixler.com/pitch-talk and www.pitch-talk.com. Live streaming right now. You know what? Let's get into some results analysis because we are going to start with some FA Cup third round replays. Bristol City 2, Doncaster Rovers 0. J. Emmanuel Thomas getting both goals. First on 36, second on 79. Chesterfield 2, Scunthorpe 0. Clucas opened the scoring in extra time. During extra time, 105 minutes. Clucas scored again on 116 minutes. Now, a couple of games that ended up as penalty shootouts. Well, West Ham 2, Everton 2. West Ham won 9-8 on penalties. Now, that doesn't begin to tell you the story because Enner Valencia opened the scoring on 51 minutes. Aidan McGeady was sent off on 56. Kevin Mirallas equalised on 82 minutes. Romelu Lukaku put the 10 men of Everton ahead on 97, but Carlton Cole, I don't know what is going on recently or what they're putting in the water at West Ham, but it seems like rejects of other clubs and former flops are starting to come good. Because Carlton Cole scored on 113 minutes. 2-2 it ended after extra time, and West Ham United won 9-8 on penalties, and Adrian scored the final penalty.
It was a very good penalty.
It was, yeah. It was calm as a coma, really. But the fact is, Robles, he saw his penalty, wham, smack off the crossbar. And that was crazy. It was absolutely crazy.
That game was crazy.
But another game, it was a crab. Crayfish. Anyway, that's all I can think of. But you know what? Wolves 3, Fulham 3 was another match that went to penalties as well.
Very good game, that game.
Yeah, Crawley Woodrow opened the scoring on 27 minutes. Edwards scored on 71. Van La Parra scored on 73 minutes. And Woodrow scored again on 76 minutes. Edwards scored again on 109 minutes. And Ross McCormack scored a penalty on 122 minutes. Fulham ended up winning 5-3 on penalties. Now, those two matches, we'll stick on those two matches briefly. I mean, I said Adrian's penalty was superb, and hey, Fulham winning on penalties as well. It seemed like it was a night of penalties.
It was. I mean, you know, you want to talk about that cup magic. That's where it is. That's what it's all about. You know, I mean,
this is what our business is all about.
I'm just saying,
Jim Ross.
That was a good OWR.
I love that line.
That was a very good OWR. But no, I mean, it's like, look, how many chances do we get to have a goalkeeper win the game?
Not many. I mean, we could have had it with Liverpool Middlesbrough earlier in the season, but I love that. I love the fact. I found it kind of cute that in the Metro the next day they were calling the West Ham Everton penalty shootout a marathon penalty shootout. I found that kind of cute. Considering Liverpool Middlesbrough, there were about 32 penalties taken, and there was half that in West Ham Everton, and they still tried to call it a marathon shootout. That was kind of cute. It was like, oh, that's a marathon penalty shootout. Well, I don't know what you would have called Liverpool Middlesbrough earlier in the season, but anyway, leaving that aside. I know a couple of the Skypers watched these two games as well. If any of you want to jump in, let us know in the Skype chat. Cause I see JBK, baby. JBK, welcome to your Monday Night Footballing Fixin'. Wolves 3, Fulham 3, West Ham Everton. If you want to jump in on either of those, have at it, man. What did you think?
Great penalty from Adrian, as everybody saw. He did it like a Spanish boss. just literally just nonchalantly just took off the gloves. It was just like, yeah, I'm going to score this anyway, so you might as well sit down. In terms of all the penalties, I don't know why they actually called it a marathon penalty, because obviously, as you did say, I know obviously Liverpool and Middlesbrough was quite long, but the England-Holland one a few years ago
was longer than Lex Steele. It was long.
Yeah, it was a lot longer with the England-Holland one, which was actually, I think, 21-22 to the Dutch. And that actually involved somebody who actually played on the weekend for Southampton. In terms of the Fulham Wolves game, glad that we got through, but I think it might be a step too far, as I said before, against Sunderland. So we'll just have to see. It would have been nice if Bettinelli actually scored one of his scored a penalty himself. But I don't think it was going to be ever. I don't think it would have been an England-Portugal situation where the keeper would have just taken one within the 5 penalties that given out of the 5. Yeah, glad, and RIP to Sir Jack Hayward as well.
We're gonna get into that. We were actually gonna. He blew the surprise. He's blew the surprise that we had. But we will speak on yo. Let me speak on this. We will speak on Jack Hayward in a bit. So we're not going to forget that we had stuff. Sir Jack, sorry.
Yeah, right.
With all reverence to the departed. But Mike Harniman wanted to jump in as well on West Ham Everton.
Yeah, I saw that game and I thought it was a really, really entertaining game. Both sides really went for it, and I think Everton were really unlucky to lose. I think when they had 10 men for the majority of the second half, I think it was, and still went ahead. I was pretty sure they were going to hold out, but obviously Cole came up with a goal, which was a bit of a surprise. And then I kind of had a feeling West Ham would win on penalties after the way that Everton had played, because they basically put a lot of energy in, and when you've got a man less, you put a lot of energy in, you get a bit tired, and then the mental heads go a bit as well.
Nah, very true. No, that is true. Well, hey, it's one of them ones. It's like fatigue makes cowards of us all. Is a saying that I'll drop in that regard. But West Ham ended up winning their next game as well. Can Everton show that bounce back ability against West Brom tonight? 24 minutes gone, still 0-0 between Everton and West Brom at Goodison Park. So good stuff. You know what? Let's shift on. Because, baby, we got more results there, baby, to go through. So we've gone through Tuesday, 13th of January 2015. We now go on to Wednesday, 14th of January 2015. Bradford 4, Millwall 0. Beavers was sent off after 6 minutes. No jokes, please. James Hansen scored after 8 minutes. John Stead scored after 17 minutes. It's funny, actually. John Stead was a name that came up in conversation on Saturday with my auntie and her husband, as it happened, in regards to Neil Warnock, as it happens. But yeah, Halliday scored on 39 minutes and Not scored on 57 minutes. Millwall went through. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, it's one of them ones. Big shouts to Will Hainsworth, by the way, who's a Bradford supporter, one of the Bantams. Ipswich 0, Southampton 1. SH. Long scoring on 19 minutes. A big shout out to Kieran Riley on that one. I said that SH. Long on the back of someone's shirt. Wait, which sounds wrong anyway. No, it's one of them ones. Imagine
I'm not helping you out there.
Imagine SH. Long on the back of someone's shirt. But anyway, leaving that aside. Yeah, Shane Long scored on 19 minutes. Kerbo Ralliman struck.
You can stay there with that.
I told her that in my reference. But Tottenham 4, Burnley 2. Marvin Sordell scored on 3 minutes. Wallace scored on 7 minutes. Paulinho scored a belter on 10 minutes. Etienne Capu scored in first half stoppage time. Chichire scored on 49 minutes, and Danny Rose scored on 52 minutes. Now you know what, with the matches from the 14th, hey, it was interesting. It was interesting stuff. I gotta say, Etienne Capoue, Cat Poo. I was like calling him Capoue. He's kind of been out in the cold. Cat Poo out in the cold will get frozen. But anyway, yeah, Millwall Bradford. The only reason I wanted Millwall to go through is just so that I could make more Football Factory references, because Bradford now face Chelsea in the next round. It's the only reason I wanted Millwall through. No altruistic kind of benevolent reasoning or anything like that. It was just, I just wanted to make Football Factory references. I'm working with Stickleback in here. But yeah, it is one of them ones. But you know what? Southampton going over Ipswich, Tottenham, Burnley. Well, Tottenham having to come back from 2-0 down. Bounce back ability shown right there. Shown right there. So Tottenham in a very good run of form as of late. So we'll have a talking point in regards to Tottenham coming up shortly, actually. Ross Vernon, you want to jump in on Bradford Millwall?
Yes, I do, because I actually saw the highlights of this game, and for me, it was a definite record. There were no complaints about that. And I don't know if he's come out today that both Bradford's manager and assistant is being fined by the FA for their performances on the touchline towards the officials during that game. And after the match, Ian Holloway locked Millwall into the dressing room until about 2 on Wednesday evening, and then come out to do his post-match press conference at 11 on Wednesday evening. You were having a right massive go. They were still waiting for him at like 22:11, and then they turned all lights off, and then 5 minutes after they turned lights off, it came out to do a post-match press conference in that game. And I think if they lose again in the week, if they lose again in the league match they've got coming up, then I think Holloway could be saying goodbye to Millwall.
Well, we're not here to speculate on people's jobs, because we actually hate that kind of thing, because it's so easy to do and everyone does it. It's big chance, 28 minutes, big chance, Everton 0, West Brom 0, but Gardner ruled offside. Well, then he did get in. He did get in very, very well. Unchecked, actually. Unchecked. I think that was Mirallas saying follow him. But it was that extra touch that actually took it to him, and that was when he was flagged offside. Speaking of offside decisions, we've got another one to come back to, actually. Let's shift on, actually, because we are actually going to start on Saturday, 17th of January 2015. We're actually going to start not with the result that I would love the best, because this week I haven't got the live bird upon my chest. But right now, we're going to start with the African Cup of Nations. We're going to start in Group A. With the opening match of the tournament, Equatorial Guinea, the hosts, were held 1-1 draw by the Democratic Republic of Congo. Nsue Lopez opened the scoring on 16 minutes, and Bifuma Kulosa scored on 87 minutes to level things up. Burkina Faso 0, Gabon 2. Aubameyang scoring on 19 minutes. Good finish as well. And Ivuna scoring on 72 minutes. Woeful defending, it must be said, on that second goal. I actually saw the second half of it live. Utterly atrocious defending. But the thing is with the thing is with that Burkina Faso Gabon game, there's another surprise blown in the Skype chat. These guys are playing, spoiler alert. Well, anyway, I can't do the whole Riley Freeman thing. But no, it was one of them ones where Burkina Faso Gabon, watch the second half, the finishing was woeful in that game. Utterly woeful finishing. And it was like, okay, it's early in the tournament and people are just getting their shooting boots, but god damn. A lot, I swear, with the Gabon Burkina Faso match, even though Gabon ended up winning it 2-0, it's a case of
-5 stars. -5 stars.
For a lot of the finishing in that game. It could have been either team, it could have ended up 3-3, to be honest, but it's one of them. But Well, Jaymie, did you want to jump in on Equatorial Guinea v Congo or Burkina Faso versus Gabon before we move back to the Premier League?
Funny enough, technically, I don't really want to have a say on the games themselves. I just fear for the African nations in terms of their football.
I thought you were going to say because of the Ebola virus, but that's a different story.
That's a bit harsh, but okay.
No, it is a different story, and it's a reason to fear for certain African nations. Because at the end of the day, that's why it's in Equatorial Guinea in the first place.
Yeah.
That wasn't me making a joke. Hey, I'm being serious as a heart attack with that. Like.
Fair enough. In terms of the football, as you said, their performance in front of the goal, rather than defending it, was woeful. But I look at that and say, in terms of looking at the African Cup of Nations, it's pretty much been long ball football by most teams, and I can't see it getting any better within the next 5 years. So I'm starting to wonder if financially in terms of politics, whether football in Africa needs to improve in order for it to actually get better, and to actually see football improve for all the nations rather than just a handful of them, which I mean more the North African teams rather than the southern or the central African teams. I just have a feeling that it's not going to get any better in terms of quality unless something changes in terms of their political status in the world.
But then it's one of them football can be one of those delightful things sometimes that separate from politics, you can have teams doing well. I mean, you look at, say, all of the upheaval in recent years in terms of the Ivory Coast, and they've still done all right. Ghana could be, you could say the same there. In a way, you could say the same about Nigeria, as well. Even though they didn't qualify for this tournament, neither did Egypt. The most successful team in it, and they didn't qualify again for like the fourth straight time. But it's an interesting one, and the Mixlr link for where we are currently is Mixlr. Well, actually, you can get it via our official website, www.pitch-talk.com. That is where you can get the live link to the show live right now, and also mixlr.com/pitch-talk. I said www.pitch-talk.com is the official website, and the link is there as well. We've embedded it for you just to make it that bit easier. But yeah, in terms of African teams improving over the next 5 years, I can easily see it happening, to be honest. I can easily see them improving because
for me, I've just been watching it over the past. I've watched the last two, 3 tournaments, and I've been looking at. Obviously, everybody watched the World Cup in 2010. And I watched a couple of tournaments beforehand, the African Nations Cup tournaments beforehand, when Egypt did win it. And it just seems like it's only Egypt, Algeria, South Africa, Morocco, Tunisia, Ivory Coast. There is a handful of teams, but they all seem to be North African or just central, north of the Central African teams. Apart from maybe South Africa in the south, who are pretty much rugby dominant. There's not much going on for them around the continent, and unless it's a bit like Europe where it improves, I can't see. For me, I just fear that the future of African football might diminish in terms of how they proceed with their football, because as you've seen with the Premiership, you're not looking to play long ball football anymore. You're looking to keep it on the floor and actually work the ball to the wings or keep it central. But that's been built over a period of time, whereas this has been the same thing for the last possible 6 years. And that's what I fear, that the next 5-6 years will be still the same thing.
But you said that was built over time, so surely this needs just more time, right?
Yeah,
It does.
Time,
but I just
time and
fear
a bit
that
of investment.
they won't, because of all of the troubles with the Ebola virus and other stuff. It just seems like the reason why the Premiership got better was because of money. whereas they're not really getting the
completely.
chance just to break out and do things a lot better in the world, if that makes sense.
Well, we may hit that as a special feature segment at some point. But at the end of the day, the Premiership ain't better purely because of money. I mean, the money is a byproduct, but it's not solely because of that. But anyway, yeah, as I said, we might have to hit that as a special feature segment.
Yeah, I think me, you, and the G-Man might have to sit down and
we'll look
thrash that one out. I think.
Definitely, because it's one of them ones. We'll look into and get a few more facts before we make sweeping statements. To say that much. But
By the way,
but
Algeria 2, South Africa 1. Sorry.
Aha, cool, good stuff. That's a live update for you, baby. But let's stay with Saturday, 17th of January 2015. Aston Villa 0. Liverpool 2. Fabio Borini opening and scoring on 14 minutes after head Jordan Henderson's cross. Found him brilliantly, baby. And Ricky Lambert scored on 17.
Very tidy
minutes.
goal.
Lovely.
Excellent
finish.
close control.
Lovely finish. Mistake by Fabian Delph. Sterling got it. Lovely ball through. The first touch was just immaculate from Ricky Lambert, and bam, slide rule finish. But you know what? I'm gonna come back to that game actually. Burnley 2, Crystal Palace 3. Ben Mee opened the score on 12 minutes. Yeah, Danny Ings scored on 16 minutes. Dwight Gale scored on 28 minutes. Jason Punchin scored on 48, and Dwight Gale popped up again to seal the deal on 87 minutes in a game where they tossed, they turned. It was crazy. To coin a Shawn Michaels line there in a promo. But the fact is. I mean, that's it. That game could have went either way. Yeah. And just when you thought Burnley were going to get the 2-2 draw, boom, Dwight Gale pops up and a very nice finish as well.
I mean, there's something about Alan Pardew and his teams this season. I think they rescued something like 16 points from losing positions. Something absolutely ridiculous like that.
Know how to come from behind.
Pause. Anyway, we'll just happen to. hey.
I didn't mean it in that way.
You queued it up, man.
Very good point.
That's all I'm saying.
Spoon moment.
Queued it up. But yeah, no, I just think that Alan Pardew, he's obviously doing something right at the minute. Yeah. You know, I think a lot of fans will happen to disagree with him and his tactics somewhat aggressively, but they're working. They're clearly working.
Oh, of course,
right? He's got the team organised. The players are playing for him, and you don't happen to get results like that one if you're not doing something right.
Of course. And if it ain't broke, don't try to fix it. Don't try to fix it. I love that from Summertime. Don't try to fix it. By the way, coming back to Liverpool Villa actually, Liverpool I should say. It was on them ones. Some might remember a tune by the name of Gash by the Hour. When I saw that, and Darren Bent actually did that dance at one point at the celebration when he was at Charlton. As soon as I saw, after the Ibis game, as soon as I saw that Borini and Lambert had scored, I was like, yeah! I was doing the dance. I thought, you know what? It ain't often you see Borini and Lambert score, so it's worth a dance when it happens.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Woo! Leicester 0, Stoke 1. Bojan Kirkic got the only goal of the game on
Brilliant
63 minutes.
Brilliant.
It was fantastic. It was actually a fantastic finish. But next result is yours.
You were doing such a good job of reading them out. I might as well let you carry on.
That your way of saying I'm not ready? I'm not ready.
No, it's
not ready.
No, it's my way of saying I don't want to. I don't want to. So
I don't wanna
read about it. No, I don't wanna read about it.
But it's a win for your boys because Man United won 2-0 against QPR. Marouane Fellaini, the man auditioning for the Hair Bear bunch, even though he's about 30 years too late, scoring on 58 minutes, and James Wilson scoring on 94 minutes to seal it. There was some real stupid rumours going around. Oh, Harry Redknapp will lose his job if he gets beaten by Man United, if QPR get beaten by Man United, and it's like, wow, the parasitic media really are an embarrassment. What stupidness.
I just
and you gotta be a proper -5 stars caliber moron to have actually even entertained, let alone believed it.
I just want to point out we do have another live score update from Mr. JBK, aka Mr. Bailey, aka you can put any kind of number in front of the rest of what I was going to say, but I'm not going to say.
And two, man, but it's 3 man. Because it's 3-1 to Algeria.
Yeah.
Right now.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I think overall, good result. First half was a little bit of a puff. No houses were blown down, particularly in that first half. But, second half, you make a tactical change. One matter comes off, Marouane Fellaini comes on. You want to talk about a first touch and then an immaculate finish as Saido Berahino blazes over the bar. No, sorry, that was Victor Anichebe.
With his beard that looks like it's been stuck on, the beard weave thing.
Oh, stop it.
The beard weave. No, man. Anichebe's beard looks stuck on.
No, it's a proper Abe.
Think about the horses. Think about the horses that died because you're weave.
Stop it. It's a proper Abe Lincoln. It's a proper Abe Lincoln beard. But no, as I say, tactical change. One matter comes off. Marouane Fellaini comes on. And yeah, goal. And a very good goal at that. Goes, runs over, celebrates with Adnan Januzaj after scoring that one. And then, of course, James Wilson, 2 bites to the cherry, but that's all he needs. Second one, back of the net. So, overall, was it how...
And we've seen the penalty. 42 minutes gone.
Must be for handball.
Penalty against Jolion. Speaking of beards and the chip up. Any beards. Speaking of beards, Jolion Lescott. All right, Lukaku tried to control it. Lescott steams in, and he does handle. Yeah. Well done, ref. Good decision. He has handled it.
No, he does handle it. But I'm saying, that doesn't strike me as being deliberate.
No, but he did. He controlled the ball with his hand.
Yeah, but I mean, look, if we
that's always going to get.
No, but look, if we want to talk about handballs, right? Let's talk about the Southampton game.
Yeah,
that's a clear-cut handball.
All right, let's go to that because it was. I agree with you on that.
It's undeniable.
I agree with you.
This one has element of doubt for me. That one,
it's one of them ones. The fact of the matter is,
as
Newcastle.
Kevin Arias gets ready to take the penalty.
Yeah, Newcastle 1, Southampton 2. Elliott scored on 14 minutes. Gouffron had the ball hit against him on 29 minutes and scored the equaliser. And Elliott scored again.
Speaking of scoring, Kevin Arias doesn't score. His low penalty is wide to the left. It's still Everton 0, West Bromwich Albion 0. Maybe some poetic justice.
I don't think so. Look
at the penalty though.
That's a poor penalty off the bottom of the post. Actually, he's actually hit the bottom of the post on it as it's gone by. It's an awful penalty. I wouldn't say poetic justice because, as I said, Lescott controlled the ball with his hand. So that's why it's been given. For me, that's a stonewaller. But yeah, in the Newcastle 1, Southampton 2 match, yeah, legit stonewall penalty not given.
As well,
and I watched that with my auntie and her husband, and it was like, hold the hell on, how was that not been given? Stonewall, absolute stonewaller in that game. So hey, it's one of them ones. I think it should have been given. But coming back a touch, Swansea 0, Chelsea 5. Someone mentioned Gomis in the chat, so yeah, I had to. Bafa 10 Jay-Z. But Oscar opened the scoring on 1 minute. Costa scored
brilliant
on 20.
Goal, by the way.
That was lovely. I mean, it was such a well-worked move. Costa scored on 20, scored again on 34. Oscar scored on 36. And also on 79 minutes, Andre Schürrle scored as well. So, you know what? The Chelsea bandwagon rolls on.
Yes, it does. With a bit of steam behind it as well. I mean, when you look at it, they were just sensational. 36 minutes, 4-0 up.
Sensational like Sherry.
This is
4-0 at half time.
This is all I'm saying. Like, if you want to talk about well-oiled machines ticking over and getting things done, that's exactly what that Chelsea team was.
Oh, it's one of them ones. Swansea had no real attacking threat at the end of the day, so it's an interesting one. Speaking of a bandwagon rolling on, Tottenham 2, Southampton 1, and controversy reigned supreme in this game. Jan Vertonghen scored on 3 minutes. Seb Larsen scored a quality free kick.
You mean Sunderland, right? You said Southampton.
Sorry, Tottenham, Sunderland. It's the stripes. It's the stripes. It's the stripes and the questionable decisions. That's what gets me.
Yeah, Matt Harniman, I agree with you. Fantastic free kick.
Yeah,
Potential goal of the week contender. What's
definitely.
your stuff of the week?
I know
Let us
my goal of the week contender already.
I know mine.
Okay, cool.
I know mine.
Yeah, stuff of the week later on in the show. Christian Eriksen scored on 88 minutes.
Now
to seal it.
that is another goal of the week.
Definitely.
Right there. That finish was absolutely redonkulous. Half time over at Goodison Park. Everton 0, West Bromwich Albion 0.
You know what? One thing that must be said though. It was just fortunate that Tottenham were already 2-1 up when this happened. But the offside.
I'm sorry, what?
The offside in inverted commas, because Jan Vertonghen had a goal ruled out for offside. Now, let me somewhat paint a picture. Tottenham counter-attack. Vertonghen is in his own half.
You're forgetting about the corner, by the way.
Yeah, well, from the corner, Costel Pantilimon. Yeah, I'm not watching the rumble. What's it? Yeah, Costel Pantilimon. It was one of them.
Didn't you say that he looks like Hector Bellerin's,
Yeah.
father? Or
Hector Bellerin looks like he could be Costel Pantilimon's son. And you've also got Johan Gouffron, who I realized on Saturday looks a bit like Bobby Zamora. He looks like a young Bobby Zamora. It's actually quite creepy. But yeah, no, it's one of them was. But yeah, the offside decision was an absolutely atrocious decision, because if it was in Sunderland's half, then of course, yeah, he's offside because you're in advance of the goalkeeper. But that becomes irrelevant because Jan Vertonghen, when the ball got played to him, was in his own half. So it's like, hold on a minute. Have we got linesmen and referees who not only deserve
-5 stars? -5 stars
for decisions, but they also don't actually understand the laws of the game themselves?
Oh man, look, it's just absolutely ridiculous.
I mean, Dave Meara said don't blame the lino, the ref should have overruled him. But the ref was behind the play, and that's the whole point of having a linesman, to help, not help you botch a decision. I feel like playing the Tri-Moon Botchamania intro, the SmackDown one. It's one of them ones. I don't know. Forever. Ah! I swear, I really feel like playing that. But the fact of the matter is, both of them are at fault. Both of them are at fault. Because the ref could have overruled the linesman, and the linesman could have got the call right in the first place. It's a circus. It's the circus. But the fact of the matter is, I don't get how you botch a decision like that. I really don't. I really do not get how you botch that. It's like, well, was it Nash? I don't know how he tore his quad in that situation. I still can't understand how he botched that much. But I don't get it. I don't get how these men are professionals and they're botching decisions. That is a bad one. That is a horrible decision.
God off.
That is a horrible decision. I mean,
-5 stars.
Doesn't even do it justice.
No, it doesn't.
Also,
I don't know what the hell's going on here. Wait a minute. But I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
That doesn't even do it justice.
No, it doesn't.
Even as a decision,
Hey, he stuck his legs. He stuck his legs. Hey, he stuck his legs. He stuck his legs.
even that doesn't do it justice.
No.
At how bad a decision that was. Those 3 sound bites do not do that bad a decision justice in how poor those decisions were. And as I said, it was just fortunate that Tottenham won the game. It was just it was just fortunate. But it's one of them ones, man. I mean, it's abysmal. And yeah, we do remember the Pedro Mendes goal. Where was it? Roy Carroll was halfway into the net, scoops the ball out, and Clattenburg's like, didn't go in. And it's like, what are you, blind? Maybe Ray Charles and Stevie Wonder saw that was in. Come on, dude. Come on, dude. Wakey, wakey, eggs and bakey. But I don't know, man. It was atrocious. It was atrocious. I mean, do any of the Skypers want to jump in on how bad a decision that was? Because it was bad, and there's no defending it. You can't defend that. You legitimately can't. Mike Harniman, jump in, man.
Like I just said there, it did remind me of the goal against Roy Carroll.
Yeah, the Pedro Mendes goal that was.
The Mendes goal, yeah. And to be honest, I don't know, like, how the referee, what his reasoning was. I'd love to hear his reason for actually giving it as offside, and the linesman as well, because to be honest, they didn't actually know what they were doing at all. Like you're saying, it's in its own half. You just physically can't be offside. So to get such a big call wrong, I really don't know. It's just the way it seems to be going at the moment. Probably not just with Tottenham, because it has happened to them before, as we've said, but just in the Premier League in general. The refereeing standard really does need to improve, and so does the Football League as well.
No, definitely. I mean, it's not even, for me, it's not even one of them ones where they need more help with cameras and stuff. I think it's a case of, like we said before, go back to basics. Train them better. Train them better. Because that's
what's going to happen with this referee? This referee is going to be refereeing again midweek, next week?
Probably. I mean, he should get busted down to conference level for that. Because it's atrocious. It is utter,
Same with the lineup.
Atrocious decision. Yeah, of course. It's mad. It's absolutely madness. I mean, Dave Meara said what happens later in the season if goal difference keeps Sunderland up or Spurs miss out on a European place. I mean, for it to be one goal in it would have to be real tight. But I don't think you'd be able to really necessarily look back at one game and say, all right, that's cost us. Especially Tottenham won't be able to say that because they ended up winning it anyway. And Sunderland ended up getting beaten anyway. So that was actually similar lines as to why I still call Neil Warnock a bitter BI. Finish that one off. But leaving that one away anyway. But it's a case of the full-time Algeria 3, South Africa 1, by the way. Jaymie Bailey, you want to jump in on this refereeing aberration, it must be said?
That's actually I'm an Arsenal fan and a Fulham fan, I'm not going to forget that. And looking at it from an Arsenal point of view, I found it hilarious. Looking at it from,
you would, I'd expect that.
Say that again?
You would, I would expect that.
Yeah, obviously I'm going to be biased about it, and technically it didn't really make any difference considering the next day anyway. But in terms of the refereeing this season, it's almost I'm not going to do a Phil Taylor, or I forgot his name, from the chief of the PFA chairman. I'm not actually going to liken. Taylor. Yeah, Gordon Taylor. Sorry, I'm not going to liken his any situation to anything, but it's almost like it's become a Big Brother saga. Like, we've had goalkeepers this week have good and bad days. If you look at the Scunthorpe situation, we've had referees not actually knowing what the rules are. We've had so many things happen this year or this season that this has almost become like an EastEnders episode every single week. All of a sudden, there seems to be something going on with a referee. And then all of a sudden, somebody's having sex with another man's wife. I know it sounds a bit weird for me to say, but it
does sound a bit weird.
There's always something. No, it just seems like there's something always going on with either a referee or a player or a manager or some sort of official, and it's just like, can we please go back to playing football? Seriously, I want to be a coach. I don't want to have my life put on the line at the same time as coaching a good sport. Can we please go back to football, because this is becoming really ridiculous now.
You might want to ask the parasitic media that as well.
It needs to get better.
Mate, you might want to ask the parasitic media for that dispensation as well.
It's not just the parasitic media. It's people like Jose Mourinho as well.
Yeah, yes, I'm not getting into.
A few years ago,
I'm not getting into him. I'm not even gonna get into him because we'll degenerate.
I'm not getting into it. I'm just saying, people like the whole saga with. All right, taking Jose Mourinho out of it, the whole saga with the Arsenal fans when we went to Stoke, and all of a sudden we're almost beating up the players. And
we've been over that too. We've been over that to death. But
I want to go back to football. I don't want to. Yes, everybody has their opinions, but we're always talking about a refereeing decision, or we're talking about something that changes the game.
Well, you know what, yeah?
Not involved in the game.
Well, you know what, yeah? All right.
To be played.
All right, fine. Let's go back to talking about the football then. Let's go back to talking about the football because we're going to move on to Sunday 18th of January 2015. And we're going to go back to the African Cup of Nations in Group B. With Zambia 1, Democratic Republic of Congo 1. Yannick Bolasie scoring on 6 minutes and Singuluma scoring on 2 minutes. So it's one of them was Bolasie scoring in that one. Tunisia 1, Cape Verde Islands 1. Ali Monser scoring on 70 minutes and Almeida Ramos scoring a penalty on 77 minutes. Coming back to the Premier League, West Ham 3, Hull City 0. Andy Carroll, I mentioned earlier about some rejects from other clubs starting to come up trumps. But Andy Carroll scored on 49 minutes. Morgan Amalfitano scored on 69 minutes. And Stuart Downing scored on 72 minutes. Man City 0, Arsenal 2. And a surprising result and a surprisingly good performance from Arsenal considering where they were. Santi Cazorla scored a penalty on 24 minutes. Stonewaller for me. I thought those were clan robes. But anyway, it's one of them was, Santi Cazorla scoring a penalty on 24 minutes with Olivier Giroud scoring against the run of play on 67 minutes. You know what? Gotta give credit to Arsenal. They've shown how they can do it. Rather than this is how we do it usually and doing what they usually do. It was a fantastic defensive performance from Arsenal. And at the end of the day, they went up to the Etihad. I was expecting a lot of goals in this. I was expecting City to take it 3-2. And then for Arsenal to defend the way they did, they were compact. They had Coquelin, they sitting in front, and Cazorla was dynamite.
Well,
it was one of them.
I have to say,
very,
equally
very well.
as dynamite was Francis Coquelin.
Dynamite.
He was absolutely phenomenal. There was a lot of talk about Arsenal needing to go and sign in defensive midfield.
There was a lot of doubt about Coquelin. 2 games ago? It was like I saw in a certain Facebook group. Oh, Coquelin. Oh, this should be banter. Coquelin starting against West Ham. It was that game against West Ham. Oh, Coquelin and it was Coquelin and someone else starting in the midfield for that game. And someone was like, yeah, this should be banter. And it's like, but why? You don't want to just give the guy a chance. You see how fickle some people end up going though. And now everyone's brown-nosing Coquelin. It's like, Coquelin has had a couple good performances, I'll give him that. Arsenal defended very, very well against Man City.
Yes, they did.
But
dogged defending.
But like I was talking about with a friend of mine and my landlord earlier, it's a case of Arsenal can defend like that against Man City, but can they do that on a consistent basis? That's where the mark will be, and then we will see if Arsenal have turned the corner, if they do it for 10, 20 games in a row, being able to defend that well and hit teams on the break and punish them. Because they only had like 30% possession, but they won 2-0.
35% possession, but I'm going to quote Arsene Wenger, right? He happened to point out all of the injuries that they had. I think it's one of the rare times that, Laurent Koscielny and Per Mertesacker have been able to line up side by side this season. And for them, they showed as a pairing, they're actually very good. And again, that's what Arsene Wenger also said, but they need to have a run of games. If they have a run of games side by side, listen, I don't think it's going to be particularly hard for them to continue that kind of form, personally. Yeah. But having said that, though, right, I have to say this. Santi Cazorla, absolutely brilliant. Why he doesn't happen to play in the middle more often, I have no idea. But this guy, he was like the Duracell bunny. Absolutely everywhere. I think they showed on Match of the Day too, all of his touches. He covered the whole pitch. At the end of the game, I think it was Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. He picked him up, carried him off the pitch because he was that good. Literally played Manchester City off the park. He was absolutely phenomenal. I'm not brown-nosing Santi Cazorla. I'm not brown-nosing Arsenal because here's the other thing. What did you say? What did you always say about possession? It's nothing without penetration.
Right.
So I
like Cazorla's little shock out as well.
I don't even have to go and go too deep into that with the penetration angle, right? But the thing,
what?
I said it.
What
Yeah,
the?
yeah.
Wait. You ain't escaping without me having the drop.
I don't know what the hell's going on here. Wait a minute. But I don't like it.
You're like, what the hell was that? What the hell?
But yeah, no, I think, as I say, absolutely phenomenal. And it's not about the possession, the amount of possession. It's about what you do with it. And Arsenal put the ball in the back of the net. It's as simple as that, Again, if we're going to look at this performance, we have to say, well, look, I think Olivier Giroud, he was very, very good.
He was.
For me, personally, Olivier Giroud, absolutely fantastic leading the line. Again, lots of doubts about Arsenal strikers. Yeah. Listen, if Olivier Giroud's playing like that, do you really need another striker?
The thing, I'd think so, but they got Welbeck coming back in a few weeks as well. But one of the things for me, one of the things for me is just the fact that Man City looked toothless without Yaya Toure in that attack. I mean, at the end of the day, what Arsenal did very, very well, and I've said it on a number of occasions, starve a striker of service and they're not going to hurt you.
Yeah.
Aguero barely had any touches of the ball.
Yeah.
Every time David Silva got the ball,
he was crowded out.
He was swarmed. He was swarmed on.
Yeah.
I mean, with City, without Yaya Toure, you can do that to City.
Yeah.
Because if you have all them men swarming onto David Silva, then you leave Toure free space. But because Toure is at the African Cup of Nations, because the African Player of the Year is at the African Cup of Nations, you haven't got him to worry about. Yeah. Arsenal, fortunately, didn't have him to worry about. Because if you've got more than one threat to worry about, you can't have 2-3 men going after one guy all the time.
That's true.
So,
but
it was one of them ones.
The other thing as well, you have to look at the brain fade, right? By Vinny Company for the penalty. Now for me,
Stonewall penalty. I'm sorry, that's the Stonewall penalty. He knew what he was doing.
I'm hearing Robbie Savage saying, not really sure. Nah, that was a penalty. It was a penalty for me.
Vinny Company knew what he was doing. You could see it. He knew it was an old defender's trick. You know you're beaten, so you get in front of the man and obstruct it. And the referee penalised him for it. It was like, when I saw it, it was like, yep, Stonewall penalty. So it's one of them ones. I see it, and that's the way I'm seeing it anyway. But Arsenal, good win. They've got something to build on.
Yeah.
And it's one of them ones. Yeah, it's a case of Arsenal surprised us. And they surprised a lot of us, but I still see the fickle one, Piers Morgan is like, oh, well done, Wenger, you got it right. It's like, no, Bretton, don't brown nose now. You've been Wenger out since the 8-2. Shut your face, move on, Piers.
Don't even get me started on that.
Idiot.
Don't even get me started on that guy. I'm looking at it like this, right? Some fans should have their fandom revoked, right? And for me, he would be at the top of the list. Just stop. Yeah, quit pretending now. Yeah. It's like, listen, you're one of the biggest Arsenal trolls on all of Twitter.
We're gonna say something else there.
No, but come on, guys are straight trolling all the time. Of course. So I'm like, look, just give it a rest. Yeah, go in the corner by yourself, turn the light off, be quiet.
My God, man, you want to jump in on this?
Yeah, I do. Basically, I agree with everything you're saying. I've said it on Facebook yesterday as well. I said, basically, the way that we played was so unusual. We played disciplined, solid, we were hard working all over the pitch, closing down constantly. The likes of Cazorla was absolutely on fire, and I will forgive him that little jig as well, because the way he played, he can do what he wants. I don't
Celebration
care.
of the week.
But yeah, Ramsey had a great game. Coquelin is the reason we do not need to sign a defensive mid. And I'm going to repeat that. We do not need to sign a defensive mid, because the 7 games that he's played in, apart from the one tackle against Hull, when he got caught out and he probably should have been sent off.
That stupid tackle, yeah, he should have been sent off for, yeah.
In that game. Apart from that one, he's done nothing wrong. And I think if we can keep him fit with Flamini back as backup, why not give him a chance? Give him till the end of the season. At the end of the season, if Coquelin his form's gone down, or is starting to tire or anything like that, then bring one in for next season. But we've got the league's gone this season anyway, so give Coquelin a chance and just see how he goes. I think, just go with him.
Well, you know what? Yeah, I got a question. Do you think Arsenal need to sign anyone in the January window?
Yes, a centre back and a new striker. That's it. No defensive mid, just a centre back and a striker.
All right. I just wanted to see if that line was going to change. Jaymie Bailey, you want to jump in on Arsenal Man City as well?
Great display, but everybody needs to jump off this whole talk about Coquelin being the next best thing. As far as I'm concerned, he made his mark in one game. That's one game. You can't be consistent after just one game. So either we sign another defensive midfielder, considering that one of our defensive midfielders are now injured, and he's not even a defensive midfielder, he's an attacking midfielder transferred to a defensive position. Also, looking at Flamini, the likelihood of him staying is probably going to happen because we can't afford to sign a big name back like Sami Khedira. All of a sudden, Marco Reus is gone. Yes, we still need a decent team. We don't have a decent team. This whole talk about Winston Reid is a bad idea, because every time we are talked about with a player, we don't sign them. So I think everybody needs to stop harping on the fact that we don't need to sign a player. We do. We need to sign a player in each position. And if we don't, then it looks like it's going to be another setback for Arsenal again. And it has to be a big name who can actually fit the mold for Arsenal.
Well, you know what? Let's stick with the positive. Let's stick with the positive aspects. At the end of the day, it was a very good performance from Arsenal, and they've got a springboard to build on. That's the important thing. You've got to lay. You've got to lay some. No, but everything has to start somewhere. So that is one of them was. Let's stay at least try and stay positive on it, because at the end of the day, at least Arsenal know if even only for one game that they can actually defend well for 90 minutes and get the result. That's the most important thing. So at least they know they've got it within them. Like I said earlier, now it's all about doing it on a consistent basis. If you know you can do it for one game, what's stopping you doing it for 2, 3, 4, 5 and continuing?
Well, there we go. As everybody says,
Jamie, time is pressing on a bit, and Wayne Schumann wanted to jump in as well before we need to move on. So, Wayne Schumann, have at it.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, it's a good result. We needed that result because, as they said before the game, like, we haven't beaten a big club away from home for a while. United, we haven't beaten them at Old Trafford since 2006, Chelsea since 2011, City since 2010, and I think the last time we won at Anfield was 2012. And I said we just needed to beat a big team away from home just to prove that we can do it. And like you said, it's a platform for us to build on. When I looked at the team before the game, and then I looked at City's attacking force, I thought, it's not looking good. They're gonna destroy us. But I looked, and throughout the game, that defence done really well, and it's the best I've seen that defence play all season. And Ospina played well as well. So overall, I'm happy with the result. Yes, we do need 5 players. We still need a defensive midfielder, a striker, and a solid defender. Because when you take Koscielny out of the team, Mertesacker ain't that good on his own. You put him back in, Mertesacker's good. But I still think we need to cover there in defence, and we definitely need a solid defensive midfielder as well.
No, I hear that. I mean, it's one of them ones where, of course, it is a conundrum, but at the same time, there's a foundation, so that's always good. But you know what? Yeah, it is. We did want to move on to a couple of other things before we move into the next segment of the show. And, you know, from Monday 19th of January 2015 today, Ghana 1, Senegal 2 as a full-time. Andre Ayew scored on 14 minutes and Diouf scored on 58 minutes and Moussa Sow scored on 93 minutes to give Senegal the win. That group is actually pretty tight. That group is actually going to be a very tight one. I looked at that group immediately and thought, group of death. The Ivory Coast group is no walk in the park either, so it's one of them ones. But you know what? A bit of kind of sad news from this week actually. So Jack Hayward, the man who transformed Wolves, dies aged 91 after months of illness. So Jack Hayward was Wolves owner for 17 years between 1990 and 2007. His reign saw the club win promotion to the Premier League in 2003. He was also a great philanthropist, selling the club for just £10 but when he sold it for £10 to Steve Morgan had to promise and guarantee that there would be £30 million worth of investment. So even though he sold the club very cheap, he basically secured its future by saying to Steve Morgan, I'll sell to you for this, but you got to invest this, which is a very smart move. Wolves chairman Steve Morgan hailed his predecessor as the most generous, humble and special gentleman you could ever wish to meet. He actually passed away in Fort Lauderdale in the United States. But yeah, he actually was a boyhood Wolves fan as well. So it's a case of it's fantastic stuff. I mean, at the end of the day, Hayward was born close to Molineux, a ground he later transformed into one of the country's first all-seater stadiums after taking over Wolves. A renowned philanthropist, Bahamas-based multimillionaire Hayward often gave money to good causes close to his heart. One of his most generous acts was to sell Wolves to Morgan for just £10 in return for a £30 million investment. Steve Morgan said, our most sincere condolences go out to Jack's loved ones at this very sad and difficult time. On behalf of everyone connected to Wolverhampton Wanderers, thank you, Sir Jack. You'll never be forgotten. It's one of them ones where, yeah, there's a lot of owners. There's a lot of owners in football who see football clubs as cash cows, and there are very few owners left who see clubs as pillars of the community. And obviously Sir Jack Hayward actually saw Wolves as that, a pillar of the community, and he loved the club. He didn't see it as a cash cow. He loved the club. You could see that. So of course there have been tributes flooding in from Wolves supporters, and we've actually got our Pitch Talk's own Kieran Riley, who wanted to give a message of thank you and condolences. So Kieran Riley, as a Wolves supporter, have at it, man.
Yeah, when I was in school at Tom Head News, and to be honest, when I read the story, it hit me quite hard. But I just want to say, rest in peace, Sir Jack. Hope you're happy where you are and shining down on us after a fantastic 2-0 win at Blackpool. And I just want to say thank you to everyone at all the clubs who are sending in support, including our biggest rivals, West Bromwich Albion, who did tweet a message of respect, and to all of the Premier League clubs as well, who did a message of respect. And also thank you to Blackpool to actually moving from where they actually were going to be sitting at Molineux, so we could fit more Wolves fans in for his tribute match. I want to say big thank you to them, and also to the Fulham fans to respecting when we had our minute silence on our FA Cup tie on Tuesday.
I hear that. But you know what? It's it's fantastic to hear that. Even with the tribalism that is so rife within the game, that even rivals can come together and respect what a great individual did. I mean, owner, philanthropist. It's one of those. It is fantastic stuff. And as I said, he was a boyhood fan as well. And there's a street, Jack Hayward Way, and a training ground which is named after him as well. So it's fantastic. It's fantastic stuff. It's fantastic. But as I said, we thought we wanted to give that shout out. Rest in peace, Sir Jack Hayward. You know what? Yeah. We actually do have just as we round out this segment, we have got coming in a second. We got coming back, baby. The A-League roundup, baby. because it's one of them ones the show is getting seasoned right about now, baby. Because, baby, it is almost about that time for the A-League Roundup, brought to us by Ian Kerr of Finn White. You're going to have to show me that one again. That was nuts. But yeah, it is one of them ones. We will in a second be having the A-League Roundup with Mr. Ian Kerr of Finn White Line Magazine. Remember, it's www.finnwhitelinemagazine.com, facebook.com/Finn White Line Magazine, and at Tweet White Line on Twitter.
Remember we told ya.
Exactly. We feature in issue 0 of Finn White Line Magazine as well. A very, very well produced magazine. Not one of these little cheap tatty pieces of J-Bro and crap. It is actually a very, very well produced magazine. It's one of them ones. You want to feel the substance, baby. You will get that substance from Finn White Line Magazine. But Ian Kerr, are you with us?
Good evening, everybody. It's good morning from here, and good evening to you, wherever you are.
Good morning, Ian Kerr. You know what? It is all that was. Let's pause that track because we got to segue into this one very, very nicely, baby. We have... Oh, you didn't know? Ian Kerr's gonna tell you about A-League football.
But once again, everybody, I can't tell you about A-League football because we're still on a break because of the Asian Cup. So Asian Cup, we're wrapping up the group stages right now, and the quarterfinals start in a couple of days. So let me tell you a little bit about what's happening. Group A is the group that features Australia. Australia finished second in the group behind, South Korea. Last game in the group, South Korea won 1-0 over Australia, and they finished top of the group. It was an interesting match though because it was held up in Brisbane, and it is summer here, as you may have worked out. And there was a plague of moths that invaded the stadium. So look it up on YouTube or find some photos. You'll see there are moths everywhere, and every time they cut to the coach standing on the sideline, there he is with moths on his jacket. It was brilliant. So bit of interest there. So Australia finished second in their group. Korean Republic, or South Korea for the rest of us. Although there's one newspaper in Australia who a couple of years ago during the Olympics referred to the two Koreas as Naughty Korea and Nice Korea, and they got into a bit of trouble there. Anyway, moving onwards. So Australia finished second in the group. They play in their quarterfinal up in Brisbane in a few days' time. Korean Republic, South Korea play their quarterfinal in a couple of days' time. They'll be playing against Uzbekistan, who finished second in Group B. China topped the group, so Australia will be playing China in the quarterfinals. We've seen Iran has qualified through as well. Iran will be playing, could be playing, I can't remember now, Iraq in the quarterfinals. So that'll be interesting, won't it, everybody? I went to Group D is wrapping up tonight. So Group D is Japan, Jordan, Palestine, and Iraq. And Japan basically have to draw in order to finish top. But I went to the press conference last night, and the Japanese coach, who's actually Mexican, said that they're not going to just wait for the draw. They're going to push for the win. They are playing against Jordan. Jordan is coached by Ray Wilkins. And I have a funny story about Ray Wilkins, but it involves a lot of bad language, and I'm not sure I can really tell it in this forum. But we were basically hanging out at the game the other night, and Ray Wilkins walked past, and we said something to him, and he said something that involved the F word back. It was very amusing. So tonight, Japan versus Jordan and Iraq versus Palestine. Jordan, if I recall correctly, basically have to win in order to qualify. If they don't win, then Iraq will be going through. So quarterfinals coming up later this week. South Korea versus Uzbekistan. That's on Thursday night. That'll be played here in Melbourne. And then China will be playing Australia up in Brisbane also on Thursday night. Other quarterfinals will be played on Friday night, semi-finals next week, and the big final will be played on Saturday week, the 30th of January. No, the 31st of January, sorry. So it's been interesting here. I had it's basically, it's been on the telly every night. It's been quite an experience. Gentlemen, how's that? I mean, I've managed to actually do some research this week. You impressed?
Very impressed. I love it. Yeah. It's actually Jordan is kind of there. There's a link there to one of our international continental talking points. So hopefully you're hanging around, because the FIFA presidency is starting to some would say heat up, but well, it's starting to get a little absurd already. But you know what?
It's not absurd. I want to see a man heading up FIFA who has fabulous hair. That is what we all want to see.
Because then he will be worth it. Yeah. Hey, look at me.
I was at this press conference last night. Speaking of Sepp Blatter, and there's an entrance for VVIPs. So very, very important people. And apparently there's a FIFA standard. They will name people VVIPs. Whereas the rest of us, I saw it because I had to go to the portaloos that they have outside for the press. So there's a little bit of a contrast there.
Oh, right. I love that kind of thing.
Yes.
We do actually have a question for you in the Skype chat. Russ, I want you to ask that question because I want to see if you could pronounce that Charlton Athletic player's name.
I tried pretty sure, Liam, but I couldn't, so I just called him his first name, so I'll just do his first name again.
And his name is Reza Guchenajad.
Yeah, did you catch Did you catch the Iran game earlier, mate? And if so, what did you think to the goal from Reza, who plays for Charlton Athletic?
I didn't get to see that match. I didn't get to see the Iran-UAE match. I was somewhere else. Where was I? I was somewhere. I know. I was. But believe it or not, I had to do a national radio interview for a different job that I do, so I wasn't able to watch it. But I can tell you that because that was the late winner. I missed that because I had to be elsewhere. I only got to watch the first half of that match. The Iran fans are insane. I went to the Iran match here in Melbourne, which is Iran versus Bahrain, and basically the entire stadium was filled with Iranians. And they made a huge amount of noise, and here's a little interesting fact though. Iran, as everybody would know, there was a revolution in Iran in 1979. So the Shah of Iran was kicked out, and basically there's the big change in the way that Iran was governed. Let's put it that way. But I ran into a couple of people after the game who had a different sort of Iranian flag on their back, and it had the lion instead of the Islamic symbol on there. And I said, "Oh, what's all that about?" And they said, "Well, actually, they wouldn't let us into the grounds with these flags because it's the pre-revolutionary flag." So it's all very political. You're not allowed to have certain flags and certain political symbols at the games. Not supposed to have signs that are written in languages other than English, although I have seen plenty of signs written in Arabic script floating around the games. But there you go. The Iranians have made it into the quarterfinals, and it will be bananas. Absolutely bananas. Are going to be playing in Canberra. So, yes, look out, Canberra. They'll have never experienced anything like it, I reckon.
Sounds like it's going to be tremendous. Gonna have a good roundup next week. By the way, where can we find more information about Thin White Line, Ian? Where can we find it?
That's a wonderful unprompted question. Go online. You can find thinwhitelinemagazine.com. We've got a special on T-shirts during the Asian Cup. So if you want 25% off a T-shirt, just go and buy. Like I said, your English pound, it's worth about 22 of our Australian dollars. We are such an impoverished nation. thinwhitelinemagazine.com. Follow us on Twitter, tweet Whiteline. Our tweets are hilarious. Just, they'll leave you in stitches. Or you can like us on Facebook, Thin White Line Magazine on Facebook. We're on Instagram under Thin White Line. We have, and you should just like us, follow us, and buy us.
I hear that. You know what? Big thank you to Ian Kerr for the A-League roundup. Focusing on the Asian Cup. Big thank yous. Big thank yous. You know what? It is time for us to switch into another segment of the show. We got a lot of these talking points to go through. So let's get into
General talking points.
Wow. I like the way, Everton 0-0 West Brom. 69 and a half minutes gone. Everton 0-0 with West Brom. 69 and 3/4 minutes gone. Almost 70 minutes gone. This is your Monday night footballing. Let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and children of all ages. Well, this is Monday night and we are your Monday footballing fix. Footballing fix. Every Monday night we've got lots of talking points. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got some talking points now, cause this is Pitch Talk. Now, we're gonna go back to last week to bring you back up to speed with this week, because Man United on January 8th signed Victor Valdez as their number 2 on a free transfer. He signed an 18-month contract with the option to extend for a further year. He's actually 32, so he's going to be back up for David De Gea. Mauro Zarate joined QPR on loan on January 6th, 2015. He joined them on loan until the end of the season. Gerald will be going in July. He'll be leaving and going to LA Galaxy. And where are we going? Yeah, as soon as his contract expires with Liverpool. Frank Lampard had a deal with Manchester City and not New York City FC, but he signed a deal with New York City on January 10th to play for them and start basically next season. So it is one of them was that contract will start in July as well. Wilfried Bony finally on Wednesday 14th of January 2015 signed a 4.5-year deal worth £25 million with Manchester City from Swansea. He's currently at the African Cup of Nations with the Ivory Coast. An odd one, Paul Jewell left West Brom after just a week. Just a week after joining the club on the 13th of January 2015, Paul Jewell left his role as joint assistant head coach at West Brom. He arrived on the 6th of January and was sharing the role with Pulis' long-term assistant Dave Kemp. In a statement, West Brom said Jewell decided that he will not be continuing his recent assistance on a more formal basis. As Jewell left, former QPR and Tottenham manager Gerry Francis was added to the backroom team. But Paul Jewell will take legal advice over the sudden departure from West Bromwich Albion. The former Wigan manager said the exit was not by mutual consent. And that was from Wednesday 14th of January 2015. So no explanation has been given so far as to why the former Bradford City, Wigan Athletic, Ipswich Town and Derby County manager has gone, with a statement on the West Brom official website stating he won't be continuing his recent assistance on a more formal basis. But Jewell released a statement on Wednesday which read that his exit was not by mutual consent and it is in the hands of his lawyer, and he will not be making any further comment at this stage. West Brom are to strongly defend any threat of legal action. Speculation says that Paul Jewell was asked to take a pay cut to allow Pulis to bring in his former lieutenant Gerry Francis, with whom he worked at Stoke and Crystal Palace. So that's apparently. But Jermaine Defoe has gone to Sunderland because Sunderland have signed the England striker from Toronto. Also on the 16th of January 2015, Toronto FC and England striker Jermaine Defoe has completed his move to Sunderland, signing a 3.5-year deal with the club. United States international Jose Altidore, who's 25, moves back to the MLS with Toronto as part of the deal. And Defoe actually made his debut against Spurs at White Hart Lane. So, good stuff. And he got a very good reception as well. So, it's good stuff. You know what, yeah? Interesting stuff here. We're going to skim over these quickly because we got a lot more general talking points to come on to. But, Valdez is number 2. Very good move because that's experience backup for United. So, that's a smart move. Mauro Zarate, I think he could do well for QPR. He could help them out. And they're going to need all the help they can get. LA Galaxy taking on Gerald in July. Stevie, like I've said before, good luck. Good luck and Godspeed. Ain't gonna say nothing bad. You ain't gonna say nothing bad. You are not gonna hear me say anything bad about Gerald. The Lampard thing, well, we saw from day one that Man City were gonna work chicanery anyway with the New York City deal. So I don't think there's really much that we need to add to that. Yeah, as said, we always saw it as New York City FC being the feeder club, the J. Brown curtain jerker feeder club. So we saw that one coming. Wilfred Bonny is the interesting one because he's not going to warm the bench. For £25 million, you don't have that person warming the bench. And he's that good. He's one of the top scorers in the Premier League as well. So it's a case of, why would you have him warming the bench? Yeah. So I don't think that's going to happen. I think Man City are going to have to adapt so that they can play 2 up top with Aguero and Bonny. Because imagine Aguero and Bonny, how dangerous that could be.
They kind of quasi played 2 up top anyway. A minute.
Yeah.
With Jovetic and Aguero. Yeah. Sometimes Dzeko and Aguero. So
Bonny and Aguero is going to be fantastic. With Torre behind and Silva as well.
It's not too much.
It's going to be narrow, but it's going to be quality.
It's not too much of a stretch. The issue that I have with this transfer, right? I asked the question, why did Wilfred Bonny go?
Champions League football.
The reason why I asked that question, right?
Of course, a pay rise, but Champions League football, I think, is the main reason.
Is because, right, he's not going to be the main man.
Oh, of course not.
He's not going to be the main man. Like, for me, I'm not saying that he shouldn't go, but I would prefer to see him go to a bigger team that's playing in Europe, namely the Champions League, where he could get a run as the main guy.
Yeah.
So for example, like I would use Liverpool as an example, right? Now here's my theoretical scenario. Let's say, okay, Mario Balotelli leaves, potentially goes back to Italy, okay? Daniel Sturridge is still injured. Ricky Lambert was always going to be a plan B anyway, if not plan C. Right? Liverpool in terms of forwards are not particularly banging in the goals at the minute anyway.
On a good run of form, but not banging them in. But
yeah. So why not get a proven goal scorer? You add someone like Wilfred Bonny to that team, absolute mania.
Yeah.
Right? There he becomes the main guy. Arguably a 1A, if not a 1B to Daniel Sturridge. And you can always play the two of them together. Sturridge kind of doing that same dovetailing thing that he did with Suarez. Right? He's banging in goals for that team. Yeah. They're in Europe. Why not go there? As I say, Manchester City, the bench is crowded. Right? You've got Jovetic, who's only really getting into the team because, well, let's be honest, right? You've got
they got Thing out on loan. Negredo out on loan.
Yeah, I think he may join Valencia on a permanent deal.
I wouldn't be surprised by that. Yeah.
John Guidetti up in Scotland playing for Celtic. So, look, if Aguero wasn't often injured, Dzeko inconsistent, right, and Jovetic find it hard to really find his way into the starting 11 anyway, right? There isn't really room for him there. And there still isn't. I just don't happen to see the attraction. I really don't. I don't see the attraction in Manchester City. And I'm not saying that as a Manchester United fan. I'm saying that as the bench is crowded. Yeah? With players that they happen to pay more money for than the fee that they pay Swansea. Right? The bench is crowded and you're not going to feature. What are you going there for? What is it? Just? If it's a financial thing, it's a financial thing. And that's fine. I can understand that. The footballer's career is very, very short. They need to make as much money as possible in the time that they have. But again, I think, look, you're going to move for footballing reasons for that kind of fee. At least be the main guy.
Well, at least Jermaine, you can say about Jermaine Defoe, he's moving to Sunderland to be the main guy.
Yeah.
Because Josie Altidore, what, 1 goal?
Yeah.
So Altidore was terrible. But at least, speaking of crowded bench, the Paul Jewell thing is interesting because it's just, so you went there a week ago and now you've already left.
Yeah.
Okay. Something else has happened there.
In the immortal words of Booker T, I don't know what the hell is going on there.
Yeah.
But I don't like it.
I saw it and it was a surprise. It was kind of like, he's left already? Something has happened there that we don't know about. It's going to be speculation, and obviously there is. We read out a little bit of it, but something else has happened that we're not going to find out for a while in terms of the Paul Jewell thing. Because to leave a job after a week, it's mad. I mean, I had that at one of my workplaces with a colleague leaving after a few weeks. I've heard a rumor as to why he left, but I don't know that to be true. But the Defoe situation, I don't know. Part of me says that signing a 32-year-old on a 3-year deal is all right. He's a proven Premier League goal scorer, but signing a 32-year-old on that long a deal, for me, smacks of desperation. That shows that Sunderland really are desperate for goals. It's either that, or they were just that desperate to get Josie Altidore out.
Maybe
I can't blame them.
Maybe it's a combination because, as I say, you happen to look at Josie Altidore's career at Sunderland, and to call it underwhelming.
No, I know what I'd call it. In terms of Jose Altidore at Sunderland, well, it's one of them was for Jose Altidore, it's a case of
life sucks and then you die.
No, literally, because I mean, like,
terrible.
Maybe it was more, to paraphrase that, he sucked and then he left. Because
you're gonna say and then he died.
Because like he really was that poor. Now the thing is, whatever goal scoring touch that he had, playing in the MLS, playing in the Eredivisie, I don't know, maybe it's a confidence thing, but it just deserted him all entirely. Like it was like, yeah, bye-bye, see you later, I'm going on holiday. Yeah, it booked it, packed it, and did one, to quote Peter Kay.
Go on, do one.
Do you know what I mean?
It's over, do one.
So, I don't know. But I think all the way around, in terms of 1 in, 1 out, club rules, if your name's not on the list, you're not coming in. I think, right, that Sunderland have done a tidy piece of business. Now, in terms of the deal, right, you'd expect a year or 18 months. I quasi agree with you on that, right? But then I use the example of someone like a Kevin Phillips, right, who was really evergreen in front of goal. Yeah. To be honest, right. Okay, so you might. Well,
speaking of evergreen, you got Frank Sinclair still playing, but he was poor in his prime, so it doesn't really matter with him.
But I mean, in the sense of
he's 43 as well.
He may go and lose a couple yards of pace or whatever, but that goal scorer and predatory instinct, if anything, that'll get even better. So, do I think it's necessarily a bad signing for a team that's struggling for goals anyway? Not at all. I think Jermaine Defoe will probably get maybe 5 or 6 goals before the end of the season, and for that's a very good return on investment. Give him a full season up there at Sunderland. Listen, I think they'll probably rejig that team. Play to his strengths a bit, make him the main guy. I could see a combination of him and Connor Wickham working quite well. Yeah. Even him and Stephen Fletcher, or all 3 of them, to be honest. So, I think it's an astute signing. I really do.
I mean, we had Mike Harniman. You wanted to jump in on these transfers we've just been discussing as well, and then we'll have Ross Vernon after.
Yeah, the Defoe one I think was a great move for Sunderland. I think that can be a real confidence boost for them if he can get a couple of goals where Altidore's obviously not had the luck or whatever it is.
Not had the luck. No. He's been
-5 stars.
With Defoe, I think, to be honest, to get somebody in such a what's the word I'm looking for? Like a sort of cheap deal where it's basically just a swap deal. It's a great move because, yeah, I'd so much rather have Defoe, knowing that Defoe could score any time. With Altidore, as you've said, to be honest, it's like, well, You know, if you can't score, you can't score.
Yeah, no, true.
But the other transfers as well, I think the Valdez one to United is a really good move because they did need like experience back up for David De Gea, because obviously there was a couple of the young lads that have been on the bench, like was it Ben Amos and a few of the other young lads as well.
Yeah.
So that's a good move for them. Let's think of some of the others. I'm trying to remember all the transfers now. There was Gerald going to LA Galaxy. That's a great
at the end
move.
of
I
the
think
season.
that could be like Beckham all over again.
No, I hear that. Yeah, no, I agree with you on that one.
I think so too, in terms of footballing quality, but obviously lacking that same star power and marketability. Because let's be honest, right?
Yeah, but who stands up to Beckham in terms of market?
No, but that's
no one.
That's what I mean.
Literally no one.
that's
Ronaldo, Messi, no one.
That's what I mean. That's the only thing that's lacking now in terms of them signing a quality footballer. You know, arguably a player who has had a legendary career at club level. No doubt.
And he can still put.
And that's probably their biggest signing since Beckham as well, isn't it?
This is my thing. Yeah. I mean, I think maybe the other biggest one may have been Robbie Keane.
Yeah, and you that's apples and oranges, sickness and health. That is that way.
So yeah, I think it's a fantastic signing for the MLS, for American soccer, not American football. Because in American football, we've got the New England Patriots taking on the Seattle Seahawks in the Super Bowl this
It's not
year.
the football either.
But having said that, though, I think for the MLS, brilliant signing, and for an elder statesman of the Premier League to go over there and go to such a prestigious club as LA Galaxy, I think it's a good deal all the way around. And then of course you have Frank Lampard joining next season, so you got the Lampard v Gerald debate again, which is nice to have. Obviously,
actually plays there.
Obviously, Thierry Henry, he's recently retired. So again, you're getting a lot of these legendary players from the Premier League, extending their career by another year, 2, possibly 3. And
there's also a Javinko rumor.
Yes, I did see that. I did see that. But
it's rumor.
I really don't know about that. I'm saying Sebastian Giovinco, far too young, right, and far too talented, in my personal opinion, to go to the MLS at this stage in his career.
If he does, it'd be interesting. I mean, Tom Wood, you wanted to ask a question about Gerald to me?
Yeah, like if you was the LA Galaxy manager, would you give Gerald captaincy for next season?
Yeah, no doubt. There ain't no argument there.
Who would you put as the vice captain though? Robbie Keane?
In terms of experience, yeah, you'd have to. You'd have to mimic what Liverpool did in 2009. So I would see it easily as that, just because of experience. Because those are two very, very experienced players. So why not use that to gear up the team and potentially take the team to the next level? That's the way I'd see it. I mean, Ross Vernon, did you want to jump in quickly before we need to move on?
That's a bit, Liam.
Yeah, you want to have that quickly before we need to move on?
For me, Liam, on the Wilfred Bonny one, I just want to say I don't think he'll get much game time in Man City. I think he'll be one of the backup strikers behind Aguero and Dzeko and probably Jovetic in the team. For me, I would, if everyone were fit, I'd have Art, Zabaleta, Company de Michaelis, Cliche, Yaya, Fernandinho, Navas, Silva, Milner, Aguero with Bonny on the bench, along with Cabrera, Mangala, Sanya, Kolarov, Lampard, and Edin Dzeko.
What do you think on the other transfers as well, though? Because we got to move.
I would just say on the Huddersfield, and I think Huddersfield will do well in the MLS for Toronto, but I think Sunderland have got the better deal out of the both players, because I think Defoe we're really looking good in the MLS in the games I've seen him play, but I think it would be nice to come back to the Premier League. Because he knows this division inside. I think once he gets his first goal in for Sunderland, I think he'll continue to do well. And I just want to say, I think with the Gerard one, Liam, I just want to say, I just think it's a good move for Gerard going over to LA Galaxy, playing with with Robbie Keane, who we know as well from when he played over in England, so someone who knows then. I think one of the reasons they probably signed him was, I think they see him as a replacement for Landon Donovan, who retired at the end of the last MLS season.
That's not a bad shout. That's actually not a bad shout, in all honesty. All right. Experienced replacement. You know, speaking of replacements, from, again, going back to last week to come back to this week, couple of owners we're going to focus on. Cardiff City returned to blue in this instant as Vincent Tan grants fans their wish. This from January 9th, 2015. The Bluebirds have restored the club's traditional colours and wore blue against Fulham after gaining permission from the Football League. Cardiff City owner Vincent Tan confirmed the club returned to blue with immediate effect. He made the announcement in an official statement less than 24 hours after a meeting with other club officials and around 50 fans representatives. Cardiff after gaining special permission from the Football League to make the change for the rest of the season. Tan's statement confirmed Cardiff will wear blue, not red, for their home matches across the 2015-2016 campaign as well. The club crest will have a prominent bluebird as the dominant image instead of the red dragon. Season ticket prices will be reduced for those outside the 5-year price freeze. Those who have been on the price freeze deal will see what the club call a minimal increase. You know what? So one of them was Tan's statement read, the Christmas and New Year period has given me a time to reflect on the events of the last year. Spending time with my family had a profound effect upon me. My mother, Madam Lo Siu Beng, a devout Buddhist who attended Cardiff City Football Club to watch them play, spoke to me on the importance of togetherness, unity and happiness. Now, speaking of a team and a club struggling for that, Massimo Cellino. We have a text regarding this as well. But Massimo Cellino, Leeds owner, loses Football League appeal. From today, 19th of January 2015, Leeds United owner Massimo Cellino has lost his appeal against the Football League's decision to disqualify him from owning the club. He was disqualified in December, as we mentioned a couple of weeks ago, after the league obtained documents from an Italian court which had found Cellino guilty of tax evasion. The 58-year-old Italian is prohibited like that breakdown, WWF breakdown. Break it down. I remember that pay-per-view is pretty good actually.
Excellent pay-per-view.
Yeah, the 58-year-old Italian is prohibited from having anything to do with running the club until April 10th. Leeds are currently 20th in the championship. Sorry, but the professional. That's harsh. I've got Leeds supporters in my family. I can't help it, man. I really can't help but laugh. But it's a shame.
Shout out to Mr. Saunders, man. Mr. Saunders is one of my favourite Leeds supporters.
Okay, I'm going to say one of my favourites, the Professor, as we call him, Mr. Hudson Jr., Mr. Larry Hudson Jr., the Professor. The Professional Conduct Committee set up by the Football League to hear Cellino's appeal against the decision ruled that the verdict of the Italian court was for an act involving dishonesty. Sorry, I just had to pause and let that sink in. Which is a disqualifying condition under its owners and directors test. Okay, Leeds in uncharted territory. The Football League will want him to step down in 2 days, and we're not quite sure what that will mean. Will he have to put his shares into his wife's name, or will he have to sell the club? We will have to wait and see. It looks like they will try and fight this and move forward, but it leaves Leeds in a precarious position. They are in uncharted territory right now. He'll be able to come back, but we don't know whose hands he will put the club in the meantime. And that was from BBC Radio Leeds reporter Adam Pope. So that's quite an interesting one there. The Football League said in a statement, we considered that the judge's findings of fact and her description of Mr. Cellino's state of mind based on them is of conduct which would reasonably be considered to be dishonest. Leeds Chief Operating Officer Matt Child told BBC Radio Leeds that the club was surprised and disappointed with the verdict and would continue to take legal advice. He said it's very early days for us and we will be talking to the lawyers about our opportunities. We've got lots of very good people with us and we will be liaising with the Football League and their legal team to see what the potential outcomes could be for Leeds United. We will be as compliant as we need to be. Massimo feels like he's been invited to a party and when he has shown up, he hasn't been allowed in. Well, mate,
your name's not on the list, you're not coming in.
Exactly. It's one of them was, by the way, Leeds are actually currently under a transfer embargo for breach of financial fair play rules, meaning they cannot pay any transfer fee for players in the current window.
But here's my thing, right?
And also, I just want to put a final point on that. Cellino, who took over at Ellen Rowe last April, will be allowed to resume his role after April 10th as his conviction will be deemed to be spent. Now, do you want to jump in on that before I do?
I wanted to actually just do a quick comparison to Manchester City, because aren't Manchester City also in violation of financial fair play?
Yes, they are.
So how did
and
they?
UEFA have stung them for it.
So how have they managed to go and sign Wilfred Bronny for 25 million?
See, I don't know.
How has that happened?
But I'm thinking the parent company of Man City and New York City FC will have something to do with that. Chicanery, dude. Chicanery. It is chicanery. I don't know how they're getting around it.
I really don't know.
Chicanery. We're gonna have to look into that.
Then of course, like you look at this with Leeds, right? And for me, I feel sorry for the fans.
Yeah, same here.
I really do. Namely, Mr. Russ Vernon, because now, let's be honest, right? All I'm gonna do is just be like, yeah, let's all laugh at Leeds. And
You know what?
But Lily, I'm really sorry. Lily, I'm really sorry.
No, that's a limit. They just went deep. You know what, yeah? I'm going to disagree with you.
Okay.
Supporters in the vein of Pitch Talk's very own Russ Vernon, I wouldn't say I feel sorry for those kind of supporters for the pure reason that, to quote a phrase from the G-Man, there's been a lot of flip-flopping.
That is true.
Before Cellino took over,
and we're not even talking about Javianas either.
Before Cellino took over, certain fans were like, no, we don't want Cellino. Then when Cellino got taken on board at the beginning of the season, it was like, yeah, we love Cellino. Now, a certain member of the PT family who supports Leeds is glad that Cellino lost the appeal. Do you see where I'm going with the flip-flopping thing? Yeah, that's what I don't get. But for me, it's a case of. We consider the judge's findings of fact and a description of Mr. Cellino's state of mind based on them is of conduct which would reasonably be considered to be dishonest. So let's get these convictions right: fraud twice and tax evasion. I said from day one, nearly a year ago now, I wouldn't trust him. I would not trust that guy to do lawn care for me, let alone running a football club. I wouldn't trust him to run a bath, let alone run a football club. Because at the end of the day, the fact of the matter is, I'm glad he's lost the appeal, and secondly, it's just sad. Like I commented on Facebook, it's a case of course, the supporters are always the ones who end up getting the shaft. But most supporters don't realise there's a problem with something until it's too late. The Cardiff City thing, I'm glad Vincent Tan has finally seen sense and gone back to what Cardiff were for 100 years prior. Bluebirds. Blue. They play in blue as their home kit. But I also feel sorry for them Cardiff fans who went and bought red shirts as their home shirts. There ain't no money back for them, is there? But also one of the things is, I thought Vincent Tan thought that luck and prosperity were going to come with the kit change to red and the Red Dragon being the main thing. They got relegated. So it's a case of, all right, at least Vincent Tan has changed things back because he's seen the error of his ways. Fine, got no problem with that. Massimo Cellino, on the other hand, the one thing that kind of concerns me is that I would have had his conviction start from now. So, because the appeal has only just failed this afternoon, I would have had the conviction refresh and start from now, rather than he could potentially come back on the 10th of April and we could have this merry-go-round situation happen again. And you could have a situation again where he's hiring and firing managers willy-nilly. You could have this happen again. And again, it's one of them ones. It would destabilize Leeds United even more. As if this current thing hasn't destabilized them anyway. Because now, like what Adam Pope was saying, that Leeds are in uncharted territory. I mean, it's a case of, is he going to have to put his shares in his wife's name or have to sell the club? For me, I would look at it as, well, he's disqualified from owning a club, so he should have to sell it. If he puts it in his wife's name, on April 10th, he could just switch it back. So essentially, he won't have been punished at all. because he could still be pulling the string. He could still be pulling the strings. Like when Mourinho got that Champions League ban, and apparently he was pulling strings by sending messages via an iPad or via text message from a hotel room like a couple of blocks away. Who's to say Cellino wouldn't be pulling off that chicanery? We already know the guy's dishonest. He's been convicted of fraud twice and tax evasion, so we already know he's dishonest. Who's to say he won't pull off that kind of chicanery? You see what I'm saying? It's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I totally agree.
It's one of them.
It's left with too many loopholes.
Bro, I fear for Leeds United, to be perfectly frank. I said I've got family members who support Leeds United. I've got my uncle Larry who's supported them for 40, 50 years. And it's one of them. He ain't no Johnny come lately supporter. But we do have a text from Trev LUFC Weinstein saying, I'm sick to death with them parasites at the football. Why do they have to keep on our club? I think it means keep on at our club. Be a different kettle of fish if it was Harvey's best buddy. Not sure if I really get half of that, but yeah. But thank you for the Trev LUFC Weinstein. Thank you for the text. But for me, I said the fact of the matter is, Cellino shouldn't have been allowed to take over in the first place. Again, should have seen this crap storm coming. But for me, a lot of clubs nowadays are taking short-termist options and methods to try and sort a long-term problem. Leeds United, to get them back into the Premiership and where they think they should be, is a long-term project. It's not something that's going to take 2, 3, 4, 5 years. It's going to take 10, 15, potentially 20 at this rate. So it's one of them. They're selling. Over the past few years, they've been selling. They've been having to sell their better players. It's one of them ones. They've been having to sell their better players, such as your Robert Snodgrasses, your Ross McCormacks, and now on January 15th, Derby County signed Stephen Warnock on an 18-month contract from Leeds as well. So it's a case of Leeds' captain has now been sold. He's gone. So as said, it's long-term solutions. You can't use short-termist methods, such as selling some of your best players, having this ownership debacles, and they are debacles. And Dave Mear, aka at Mearsey on Twitter, has actually written a blog recently about this Leeds situation. Obviously, it was a day before this Cellino appeal verdict came out. But the fact of the matter is, for Leeds United, the situation is just the situation. You just got to look at it. I'm looking at this as an outsider looking in and thinking,
I don't know what the hell's going on here. Wait a minute, but I don't like it at all.
You can't say that. Everton 0, West Brom 0 was a full time, by the way. But it's a case of you just got to look at it and think, what is going on at Leeds United? None of it looks good. The captain's been sold. They've got an ownership fiasco going on right now, which has actually been going on for a year, to be perfectly honest, since GFH Capital sold up. Or even if you want to look further than that, you got the Ken Bates situation. So it's one of them was, how can you justify selling your captains in back-to-back seasons? That's one thing I've actually just noticed. Back-to-back seasons, you have sold your captains. You can't build anything long-term if you're selling your captain every season. You really can't. And you can't build anything long-term when as soon as your owner takes over, there's rumours that he could be disqualified because he's been convicted of fraud twice and because he's been evading taxes. You can't build anything long-term with short-termist methods. That's all I got to say about that. Jezzy, did you want to add anything before we throw it out to the Skypers?
No, I happen to agree with you. I think, I don't think anybody knows what's happening at Leeds. I really
it's
do.
Not good.
So, you know, it's just a matter of that needs to be sorted out first and foremost, right? And as you say, in terms of stability, it's not even like, you know, they're following the Udinese model where, okay, year in, year out, you happen to lose your best players, but you happen to find other players to replace them. That's not even what's happening.
Yeah. Well, if you ain't got an owner and you're under a transfer embargo, you're screwed. So you can't bring no one in. And that same, this is the concerning thing. That same owner could be back on April 11th because his conviction runs out on April 10th. So he could be back, and in a year's time, we could be talking about exactly the same thing again. Those who don't learn from history are doomed to repeat it. As I said to the lads at Ibis post match on Saturday. I mean, Russ Vernon, you want to jump in on this before we have to move on?
Yes, Liam, because last week I saw an interview which Cellino actually did with a journalist called Simon Austin, and after that pro, I actually tweeted saying that when he first came into the club, I thought he was going to be the best man for the club. Well, after reading what he actually said in that interview, I decided he wasn't the best man. Tonight, the majority shareholders, GFH, the other shareholders who own 25%, GFH Capital, Dinesh Patel from them, who's a director at Leeds, has released a statement which goes like this: GFH Capital is surprised and disappointed with the Football League's decision, Massimo Cellino's appeal against this suspension. We fully support his and the club's actions are overturned and will continue to do so. We remain committed to the best interest of Leeds United, and these will be best achieved with Massimo's suspension being lifted as soon as possible. 710's Leeds did put a statement out earlier today themselves saying that they're going to appeal either via the Football Association or via the courts direct. And Cellino's said tonight that he doesn't know whether he will return to the club after April the 10th, and he's already considering selling the club up this evening.
Do you know what? One interesting thing about that, if Cellino is true to his word, but like I've said before, I wouldn't trust him as far as I could throw him, and I think I've been proven right by this decision. At the end of the day, I wouldn't trust his word, in all honesty. But the fact of the matter is, yeah, he may come out and say now, I'm not meaning to be part of the CWO, the Cynics World Order right now, but the fact CWO. But the fact is, he can say that he might sell up. But the question is, like we asked a year and a half ago, who is going to want to buy Leeds, seeing the situation? You see what I'm saying?
That, Liam, if you'd like me to.
You what?
I could answer that if you want me to. Who would buy Leeds United?
All right, fine. Who would in a hypothetical world?
Together Leeds, which is a consortium which is set up by a former Man United director, Mike Farnan, with the help of former Hull City owner Adam Pearson, who's helping the fans, who's taken over that, they're helping the fans fund it, and the fans have already met with GFH Capital to buy their 25% stake, and they've said that if Cellino does decide to sell up, they will be in contact with Massimo Cellino to buy the 75% which he owns at the moment. Well, he doesn't have to be banned today, but whoever takes over will own until April, and they're going to be so they'll talk to him to try and buy the entire club. And Mike Farnan and then Gary Verity from Welcome to Yorkshire and Adam Pearson have all said they'll be there and around, in with the consortium with the fans, helping out, run the club, funding the club, and putting all the money in. Which, for me, Liam, I'd rather have Adam Pearson, who's a good footballing man, in at our club, to run the club, because he was a good, in opinion, because I think we've had him Pearson behind it because he knows what he's a footballing man. He did very well for Hull City when he was in charge there, and I think if he could take over with this Together Leeds, the fans as well will be able to push forward. Still, Cellino just clears out to our club and let's get back on with trying to survive in this league. Hopefully, don't come back in April and that Together Leeds do take over completely.
I want to interrupt you there. See, this is what I was mentioning earlier. You have changed your tune. Before Cellino took over, you were like, I don't want Cellino in. Then when he took over, and I don't mean this as a personal attack or anything like that, so please don't take it that way.
I understand, Liam.
But the fact of the matter is, a year ago, before Cellino came in, you were like, oh, I don't want him in. Then when he took over, I saw your Facebook profile change completely, and what your Facebook profile picture changed to was a Leeds United badge mixed with the Italian colours. Am I wrong on that?
No, you was correct there, Liam.
There we go. I didn't think I was wrong, but I just wanted confirmation. And now you're saying you want Cellino to clear off and not come back on April 10th. For me, it's a case of that is the personification of, for me, what is wrong with a lot of football fans. Because at the end of the day, when guys like Hockaday were getting sacked and the guy took over after Hockaday were getting sacked, you were like, no, Cellino's done the right thing, and you were supporting him. So it's either you support the man or you don't. You can't keep flip-flopping, because then what it does is it actually undermines your position when you keep changing your mind that much. So but hold on, hold on. But also, Together Leeds wanting to buy Leeds. Jazzy, correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't we have a year and a half ago Adam Waldenberg and his group wanting to buy Leeds as well?
Yeah.
So again, it's history repeating itself. This, I mean, it all depends. And GFH Capital are going to sell to the highest bidder.
Yeah.
And the highest bidder, 9 times out of 10, will not be the fans. So we'll see what happens. We will see what happens. Because we've got to wrap this up. Because we've got another farce of a situation coming up as well in the next segment. But the fact of the matter is, this is a farcical situation. It's a debacle. It really is. And the fact of the matter is, it's going to be a very interesting actually not even next couple of weeks. It's going to be an interesting next 5-6 months.
Yeah, I mean,
because depending on whether Cellino comes back after that conviction is served, and also if he doesn't come back, who buys the club? We're gonna be keeping tabs on it. We're gonna be keeping tabs on this, because this.
Yeah, but just quickly jump back in a minute quickly.
But Ross, we got to shift on. We got to move on. Just purely based on time. We got to move on.
Okay, I'll type it in the chat then for you guys, so then you can have a read yourselves.
No, nice one. Because sorry, we apologies, but we got to shift on. But yeah, as I said, in terms of the Leeds situation, it's a debacle wrapped up in a farce, which ends up looking like a disgrace. Debacle plus farce equals disgrace.
No, I have
in disgrace.
I have to agree with you and Didier Drogba, and I have to say that it makes someone like a Sir Jack Haywood even more important. Somebody like him is a once in a lifetime person, and we talk about who would potentially buy Leeds. The kind of person that I would want to buy Leeds in this scenario would be a younger Sir Jack Haywood. So
exactly, someone who cares about and loves the club. Together Leeds, it would be interesting if Together Leeds were to buy Leeds United, but GFH Capital, I mean, it's a case of Cellino's people, the GFH Capital people. The cards are in their hands, so we'll see. We shall see. It's gonna be a very interesting situation. But you know what? Yeah,
it's time.
Yeah, it's time to kick it into one more gear. I love that track. Alex Long, Bad Legs. You know what? We are going to shift into our next segment, which is It is international and continental talking points. It is international continental talking points. And you know what? FIFA election. Again, we're going back to last week to bring it back to this week because Prince Ali wants a 10-year program of reform from the 10th of January 2015. FIFA presidential candidate Prince Ali bin Al Hussein, try saying that one fast, says if elected, he wants to implement a 10-year program to reform football's governing body. Prince Ali, who's 39, and Jerome Champagne will challenge incumbent Sepp Blatter, who took over in 1998 and is seeking a 5th term in May's elections. Jordanian Prince Ali said FIFA tends to be secretive, so transparency and reform is crucial. He added, if elected, we will roll up our sleeves and deliver our program. Prince Ali, a FIFA vice president and president of the Jordanian football since 1999, revealed his intention to stand last Monday after receiving encouragement to do so from colleagues. So the past 4 FIFA presidential elections, 2011, Blatter was unopposed because his rival Mohammed bin Hammam, president of the Asian Football Federation, pulled out after being suspended over bribery allegations. Now, we went over those and that issue at length on Pitch Talk shows on our Push Points and Rants of the Week, so check out them on YouTube. 2007, no other candidate was put forward to challenge Blatter. So essentially, Sepp Blatter has been coronated twice. So, yeah. 2002, Blatter saw off the challenge of Issa Hayatou, president of the African Football Confederation, and in 1998 he succeeded João Havelange and won a bitter election against former UEFA president Lennart Johansson. Now, it's one of us. FIFA has suffered a number of corruption allegations during Blatter's 17-year reign, and Prince Ali wants to clean up the image of football's governing body. I believe we should be totally transparent, said Prince Ali. I will look to a 10-year program for the organisation where everyone is a part of it, and ourselves as the executive committee will implement it. In the coming months, I will be looking to sit down and talk to our member associations and listen to them. I'm not coming in to dictate. I have my ideas and progress I want to implement, but I have to hear back from my colleagues. Prince Ali is the son of late King Hussein and the late Queen Alia, who died in a helicopter crash in 1977. He attended Sandhurst Military Academy in the UK before joining his country's armed forces, Jordan. He is the brother-in-law of leading racehorse owner Sheikh Mohammed, the ruler of Dubai. Prince Ali successfully championed the lifting of FIFA's ban on the hijab in women's football. Another point which we actually discussed, I think it was last year, on a Pitch Talk special feature. So it's one of them. But on the 8th of January, the Asian Confederation actually backed Sepp Blatter over Prince Ali. The Asian Football Confederation will support incumbent Sepp Blatter in the FIFA presidential election, despite their vice president Prince Ali's decision to stand as a candidate, which is kind of an odd one actually. But former Football Association Chairman, English Football Association Chairman David Bernstein, UEFA President Michel Platini, and current FA Chairman Greg Dyke have welcomed Prince Ali's decision to stand in the election, which takes place on May the 29th. Now, another part to this story, David Ginola plans to run for FIFA presidency against Sepp Blatter. This was announced on the 16th of January 2015. Former France international David Ginola is to stand against Sepp Blatter for the FIFA presidency. The 47-year-old, and you might want to note this, is being paid £250,000 by betting firm Paddy Power, which denies the campaign as a publicity stunt. Coming back onto that one, Ginola said, we all know that the FIFA system isn't working. To be eligible for any election, Ginola would need the support of 5 football associations and must show active involvement in football for 2 of the past 5 years. In a video message on his campaign website, he's inviting the public and organizations to join Team Ginola. He added, by joining Team Ginola, you are saying yes to a FIFA built on democracy, transparency and equality. You are saying yes to a FIFA which cares about one thing: football. Ginola's bid has the support of pressure group Change FIFA, which has long campaigned for new leadership at the top of the organisation. However, when asked by journalists in London on Friday, Ginola was unable to name a single member of the FIFA Executive Committee and said he had not yet received endorsement for his campaign from any national association. Meanwhile, Paddy Power Communications Director Rory Scott denied his betting company's support of Ginola was simply a publicity stunt. It is about providing David Ginola with a credible platform to launch his bid from, he told BBC Sport. This isn't a 2-week campaign. We are in this for the long haul. We believe we will be on the ballot. Now, £2.3 million is the Team Ginola budget, and most of the money will go to these entities. David Ginola's fee, £250,000. Global media management, £210,000. Legal fees and contingency, £300,000. Campaign management team fees, £250,000. Advertising, £565,000, and content creation, £250,000. The Team Ginola campaign is actually attempting to raise $2.3 million to fund the challenge through contributions from the sponsor and supporters. Now, you know what, yeah? Prince Ali of Jordan, I'm glad that there's credible competition there. All I'm hoping is that this doesn't end up like Mohammed bin Haman. And it ends up that he has to pull out of the race a couple months before and Blatter gets coronated again. That would be what, 3 times in a row coronated rather than actually standing in a Democratic election. That would beg a belief if it happened. But the Ginola thing, it's a gimmick. It's a gimmick. You can see it a mile away. Not just because it's him, but the fact that it's Paddy Power.
Yeah.
Paddy Power in football right now. Paddy Power, along with entities like You're Not Famous Anymore and the Sport Bible, Paddy Power are probably, out of those 3, the biggest crap disturbers in football right now. All they do is just stir it up. Look at that thing they did for the World Cup, where they had someone Photoshop something into the Brazilian Amazon.
Yeah.
Controversy there. The Moyes statue, the Ferguson statue outside Old Trafford. You see where I'm going with this? Just nothing but crap disturbing.
Yeah, I mean, look,
and that's all Paddy Power are famous for.
These guys,
they may say it's not a gimmick, but there was one line that actually kind of stood out. Where was it? Where was it? There was one particular line. Yeah, it's about providing David Ginola with a credible platform to launch his bid from. If anything, Paddy Power have done exactly the opposite. They've made it look about as uncredible as you can. Because whatever Paddy Power attached to it looks like a joke. When I first heard rumours that David Ginola was going to stand, I was like, you're ribbing me, right? And then it was like, no, he's announced he's going to stand. No, you're ribbing me, right? He had a press conference for it. No, you're still ribbing me, right? He's not going to be serious. He's not serious. And the fact is, he's not going to get anywhere anyway because you need support of 5 member associations. He ain't even got any yet. Yeah. And plus, the fact that he couldn't name any of the FIFA Executive Committee, and these are the people you're trying to run against, and if you want to change something, at least know what you're trying to change. You know how stupid that looks. Dude's talking about change. Dude's talking about changing FIFA. Stupid. And he doesn't even know anything about it. Stupid. All I can say to David Ginola and the Paddy Power team is literally,
I don't know what the hell's going on here. Wait a minute. But I don't like it. I don't like it at all. But I don't like it.
It's one of them ones. That's got to be said. Because at the end of the day, it's just, I mean, as said, it is legitimately just a gimmick. And you've got to say these kind of gimmick things with Paddy Power. If Ginola does make it into the FIFA presidency and he still doesn't know what he's doing, then you'd have to label it as,
hey, he stuck his leg. Hey, he stuck his leg.
You'd have to label it.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. And to paraphrase JBL, We know who's not gonna win.
Yeah.
So, look, the whole thing.
To paraphrase Brian Alvarez,
-5 stars.
The whole thing is absolutely ridiculous. I will say this on behalf of Paddy Power though. Paddy Power are absolutely brilliant at generating media attention.
At stirring up crap, yes.
At generating media attention, they're absolutely brilliant. There are no two ways about that. But having said this, right, this is something serious now, yeah? And, you know, to everybody surrounding this campaign, I say this. You're not serious, bro. You're really not. Okay? So, similar to, you know, what I would say to Piers Morgan, let's just go over in the corner, okay? Keep quiet, turn the light off. Yeah? Leave everybody else alone. Because right about now, this isn't what the situation needs.
No, of course not. We need serious, credible competition for Blatter, who has been elected twice in a row already because he's had no one run against him.
So, you know, I don't know.
We don't need stupid. The thing is, we in football do not need stupid gimmick. And it is a gimmick. We do not need stupid gimmick presidential candidates for FIFA. We need legitimate reform. We need reform in FIFA. Weed out the corrupt. Weed out the moronic. We don't need gimmicks, because if Ginola does by some miracle chance get in, it's going to end up, to paraphrase Jim Cornette, it's going to look like even more of a circus. You're going to be looking at FIFA, and once again I'm going to have to say it's an effing circus. It's a goddamn circus. And the fact of the matter is, oh my God, it's just, this is what frustrates me. You try and move forward in a serious fashion and do something that is necessary. This ain't one of them where we want change at FIFA. No. The footballing world needs change at FIFA. And then you got these stupid gimmicky things making the whole thing look like a farce. I don't care what anyone from Paddy Power wants to say, whatever change FIFA want to say. Ginola running for the FIFA presidency is nothing but a gimmick. And we don't need gimmicks. We need true, legitimate change with people who care about the game. That's what we need. We don't need stupid gimmicky things just to get an ad, just to get a bloody ad campaign for a bookies over. No, this is not what we need. We need someone who knows what they're talking about, someone who knows what they're doing, someone who knows how to change things for the better. That's what we need in football. If I could run, I'd be tempted to run. Hey, me, you, and G-Man. Hey. Bugger, why don't we run? Hey. We do if Ginola can run, so can we. Hey. The only thing we'd be missing is the money.
Hey,
if you got the money, honey, I got the time.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh God, it's just stupid. I mean, do any of the Skypers want to jump in on this? Because Mike Harniman, what was that you said in the Skype chat? Please jump in with that.
Yeah, to be honest, I'm agreeing with you, Liam. I think, what's he gonna do if he somehow manages to get his foot in the door and actually, like, you know, he gets elected onto it? Then what's he gonna do next? He'll be like, okay, I'm just sat here, I don't have a clue what I'm doing. Probably come out with loads of stupid rubbish, and then just it's gonna go backwards. It's just, what the hell is he even thinking? He needs to have some sort of. I don't even know what he's even thinking, to be honest, going for this in the first place, because it needs to be, like you've said, somebody serious, somebody that knows what they're doing, and because it needs to be changed so much at the moment. And Ginola, well, or anyone that's an ex-footballer or anything like that, I don't know what to say. It's beyond me, to be honest.
I mean, it's one of those. Big shout out to Brad Hicks on Twitter, who has said my Twitter handle @SSLJA for FIFA president. I wouldn't even want that job, but no. I mean, it is just.
To be honest, you guys would do a better job. So yeah, I'm all with him.
I mean, for me, it's just the case of the whole thing. I mean, imagine someone outside of football looking at this and thinking, wow, there must be a lot of people there must be a lot of idiots in football if you've got this guy who in a press conference has just shown that he doesn't know a-hole from ear-hole when it comes to FIFA, and he's looking to try and run, backed by a betting company who are kings of crap disturbing.
That's the funny thing for me, though. He knows no one. He didn't even know a single person.
Yeah. But even the issue of third-party ownership, which we've discussed on shows, he didn't know anything about that either. And that's one of the most contentious issues at the moment. So, again, you need someone who knows what to reform and what needs to be reformed. You need someone who knows what they're doing and what needs to be done running for the presidency. Not someone who's a gimmick. Who's a front man for a publicity?
The referees and everything like that. The decisions at the moment that they seem to be getting wrong. How do you know they're going to improve anything like that? He's got no idea. He's got no clue.
Exactly. I mean, we always on these shows on our live shows try and come up with solutions to problems. And Ginola, I don't know what solutions he could potentially come up with. If he doesn't know anything, if you don't know anything, how are you going to come up with a solution to rectify the problem if you don't know what the problems are?
Good point.
And that's where I'm going to leave that for a minute. But you know what? Whilst I get my blood pressure back down, we are going to shift into a few messages. But Jazzy Fizzle has a message for the people.
Yeah, no, it's looking at my auto, it's about that I happened to hit the bricks. I want to say thank you to absolutely everybody who's taken part in today's show. It's nothing but love for each and every one of you, each and every Monday night of your lives. This is the footballing revolution we are working so hard to create, and it's really people for the people. And I will see you guys next week.
People, it's time. Big shout out to the Ibis FC Freeze, by the way, before we go into the break. Big shout out to the Ibis FC Freeze, and also the Twos as well. The Twos lost 2-1, and the Freeze we actually lost 4-1. Andy Matthews got the only goal of the game in that one. So, just thought I'd mention that. At Ibis_football on Twitter and Facebook.com/IBIS.FC as well. And IBISFC.co.uk is the official website. Just thought I'd mention that one. But you know what? It is time for a pause for the cause, as some say. So we will see you in a few minutes. See you in a bit.
Ladies and gentlemen, Pitch Talk proudly presents a full sit-down interview with the current chairman of Alexandra Park FC, director of student development at a secondary school, has played for APFC for 9 years and seen the club rise and help the SAO with their sponsorship. To ask Dave a question, email pitchtalk@gmail.com with Dave McLaughlin in the subject line. Pitch Talk meets Dave McLaughlin, coming soon.
The football talk show that holds back nothing on opinions.
Straight shooting LJA.
Hi, I'm John Sitton.
Grassroots coach Manisha Taylor.
Hello, I'm Rob Rest.
The G-Man.
Samira Sawhney, Motivate Sports and Fitness.
Christian Carambeu.
Matt Hodgson, director of the 4-year plan.
We the people, for the people. Jazzy Fizzle.
Your Monday night footballing fix.
Make sure you join the revolution.
The pitch is where we eat.
The pitch is where we sleep.
And the pitch is where we talk. Each and every Monday night of your lives.
At youtube.com/Pitch Talk.
For podcast links and information, check out our official website www.pitch-talk.com. Your Monday night footballing fix, Pitch Talk, is brought to you by and in association with.
Facilities are provided for your Monday night footballing fix by In Situ. Create, engage and inspire by visiting insitu.co.
Simply Exclusive Entertainment. If you need a party or rave filmed, go to sxemedia.com for more information.
Apparently Rich. Simple yet effective web solutions to help get your company off the ground. Visit apparentlyrich.com for more information. And LJA Productions, the new blood in digital video. If you need a video filmed and or edited, check out ljaproductions.co.uk. LJA Productions, the new blood in digital video, offering video production services such as video editing, video encoding for the web including YouTube and Vimeo, audio recording, filming of interviews, promos, live events, and much more. Get in touch at www.ljaproductions.co.uk or twitter.com/LJA Productions and let the new blood in digital video promote you. Pitch Talk is brought to you by and in association with
the one-stop shop for all your coaching needs, Motivate Sports and Fitness. Check out motivatesportsandfitness.com for more information.
the new football culture magazine Thin White Line. Check out thinwhitelinemagazine.com for more information.
Storm FM with new hot releases played daily. Feel the boom at stormfm.net.
Two girls with their bunny Scotty trying to cover as much women's football as they can. Girls on the Ball. Check out girlsontheball.com for more information.
Hello, I'm Rob Perez.
Grassroots coach Manisha Taylor.
Christian Carambeu.
Matt Hodgson, Director of a 4-year plan.
Dave McLaughlin.
I'm Rob Lusher.
Andy Copeland from the Glennet Southern Amateur League.
Philip Wick, I'm CEO of 14.
Former chairman of Ibis FC.
Chairman of Alexandra Park FC.
And you're listening. And you're listening
to Pitch Talk.
The only place to get your Monday night footballing fix.
Because the pitch is where we eat.
The pitch is where we sleep.
And the pitch is where we talk. Make sure you join the revolution, the football revolution.
This is what's up with that. We are your Monday night footballing fix. You what have I just seen in the Skype chat? You know what, yeah? Roberto Martinez being sacked is it's just moronic. There's always a moronic minority of fans. That is the utterly short-termist. But anyway, David Moyes dines out on cheese puffs after being sent to the stands. Former Man United manager enjoys a crisp winter night in Spain from 40th of January 2015. After being sent to the stands during his Real Sociedad's side's 2-2 draw with in the Copa del Rey with Villarreal for a spot of protesting to a match official, appearing to say he needs glasses, Moyes appeared to help himself to a consolation cheese puff or two from a willing supporter. He never got a reception like that at Old Trafford, where he was accused of taking the biscuit. But fans were quick to praise Moyes, with the term legend gaining some serious traction on Twitter. At I am McCarron. How can you hate David Moyes? The man is a legend and needs to be the new face of crisps. #David Moyes, #better than Lineker. At Tom Edwards, Capu and Paulinho goals, Moyes being a total legend. What kind of parallel universe is this? At least Bobby still can't hit a Ballon d'Or. Cruel. At J Rob jump ship, Johnny Rob. That vine of David Moyes eating some kid's crisps is genius. He denies the other person as if they are a right fruitcake. At Sid Lowe said, Real Sociedad probably going out, but Moyes has won over the fans. At AS English, at English_AS, off to the naughty corner. Moyes has been sent to the stands for having a moan about an offside decision. At Barra Mainin, I used to think Moyes was a clown, but the fact is he's a comedy genius. She is actually. At Alex Dunn 0307. David Moyes sent off for Sociedad. Eats crisps with fans. Brilliant. At Tony Osborne 1, David Moyes just got sent to the stands and now he's sharing a packet of crisps with the family sat next to him. Want him back at United. At Miller_Colin, Moyes now sharing crisps in the stand with Sociedad fans. Great entertainment in San Sebastian. I love that. I actually quite love that. But you know what? Another slice of the absurd. Another slice of the absurd is actually to do with my boys, Liverpool. And the reason for that is because of a program called The Chase. Pepe Reina responds to hilarious answer on TV show about Sunderland beach ball incident. The ridiculous answer on the popular TV show The Chase has seen the woman win notoriety among Red supporters. This is from the 13th of January 2015. Now, you know what, yeah? It's former Liverpool goalkeeper Pepe Reina has been reminded of the infamous beach ball incident at the Stadium of Light in 2009 after a contestant on The Chase guessed that the football deflected off an ice cream van in the game. The ridiculous answer is oh my God, has seen the woman win notoriety among Liverpool supporters who are bewildered as to why she selected an ice cream van over the beach ball or sunbathing German options. After realizing her error from the laughing audience in the background, the girl tried to justify her answer. Now, of course, the incident happened over 6 years ago when Darren Bent's shot deflected past Pepe Reina thanks to some help from a Liverpool supporter who threw a beach ball onto the pitch. And Reina clearly saw the funny side of it when being reminded by a fan on Twitter of it. He sent a picture to Pepe Reina at PReina25 saying, "Is this how you remember it? Once a red, always a red." And he put a picture of and he superimposed a picture of an ice cream van. And you know what? Yeah, it's gonna pay you. We're just gonna quickly play you the clip. Actually, here's the answer that was given.
In 2009, Sunderland scored against Liverpool when the football deflected in off what object? A beach ball, B ice cream van, C a sunbathing German.
Even Bradley Walsh is in stitches.
That's the maddest thing. That is the maddest thing. Oh, goodness me. You've put...
I know it's too bad, I just thought.
Emma, what would an ice cream van be doing on a football pitch?
I know that sounds a bit silly, but I just thought it was part of the refreshment.
That's great.
Sounds a bit silly. Understatement of the year.
The answer is... That is great. That is great.
My God.
It's a beach ball.
I don't know how it... Oh.
It's a beach ball. Someone brought it into the match and just threw it on the pitch.
Oh, right.
To distract us. They blew it up, put it in the pocket, blew it up in the ground and threw it up.
Okay.
All right, it's beach ball. You're staying where you are. Chaser has put. Big football fan. Here we go. 1 away.
It's mad. Utter madness. Utter madness. You know what, yeah? For that lady giving an ice cream van as an answer.
-5 stars. -5 stars.
Have to put that. Mike Harniman, you want to jump in?
Yeah, all I'm going to say is Chelsea parked the bus, Liverpool just parked the ice cream van.
It's actually a good one. I can't lie, that's a good one. Oh my God. I mean, it's just... it's just crazy. An ice cream van. And you know what? That is definitely flop of the week contention. So you know what, yeah? Considering that's flop of the week contention, let's actually move into the final segment of the show, which is...
Stuff of the week.
Hey! West Brom and Everton ended 0-0 in the Premier League. Oh yes, that was the result. Thank you for your text as well. Every Monday night, this is Pitch Talk. We give some props and
-5 stars
to some stuff of the week. Guess -5 stars. We also give many opinions. Cause it's Pitch Talk.
-5 stars.
Now let's go into some stuff of the week, and we are going to start off with, let's go player of the week. And Jazzy Fizzle has said Fernando Torres as his player of the week. That's not a bad shout, actually. Came back, scored them two goals against Real Madrid. Yeah, no, that's a very good shout, actually. That is actually a very good shout. Let's go for player of the week. Player of the week is an interesting one, actually. I am going to go for, as player of the week, it's just who's impressed me the most. It's a tough one this week. I want to go Diego Costa. Another couple goals in that 5-0 demolition of Swansea. Diego Costa, player of the week. That's on the pitch. Off the pitch, Jonas Gutierrez. Off the pitch, definitely Jonas Gutierrez. I'm going to tell you why when we get to goal of the week. But yeah, Mike Harniman, player of the week.
Yep, based on yesterday's performance, so I've got to give an honourable mention to Santi Cazorla, but he's not actually my player of the week. My player of the week is going to be Oscar of Chelsea.
Great shout, great shout. Kieran Riley, player of the week.
Well, I have two. First off, David Edwards for Wolves after his he celebrated that goal in memory of Sir Jack, and also to our new signing Benik Afobe for his debut goal for us against Blackpool on Saturday.
Great shout, great shout. Let's go for Russ Vernon, player of the week.
Lionel Messi he got 3 goals of the weekend for Barcelona against Deportivo, and he's now passed Alan Shearer's 260 goals. I got Shearer in the Premier League. He's got 261 now, I think it is, for Barcelona. Lionel Messi now. So Lionel Messi, player of the week.
Good shout, good shout. Tom Wood, who you going for, player of the week?
Andy Drury for pushing Luton out of the playoffs.
Ooh. Ryan, who you going for, player of the week? Ryan, who you going for, player of the week? Oh, all right, Ryan, if you want to put it in the Skype chat for us. Yeah. All right, but all right, let's put it in the Skype chat. All right, let's go goal of the week. Goal of the week, Jonas Gutierrez's first goal back for Newcastle United in the under-21s Premier League game. I will post the link to it in the Skype chat. It's an absolute belter. It's an absolute belter. And, hey, first goal back off the beating cancer. No better reason than to give Jonas Gutierrez goal of the week. Russ Vernon, goal of the week. Who are you going for? Russ, who are you going for? Goal of the week. All right, we're going to have to come back then. Tom Wood, goal of the week. Who are you going for?
Sebastian Larsson's free kick.
Good shout. Very, very good shout. Mike Harniman, goal of the week.
Yep, going to give it to Steamage's second goal against York on Saturday, and that was our very own Wellstone Raider, Tom Pett.
Wheelstone Raider, oh God. Kieran Riley, goal of the week.
Very sloppy one, even though he skilled the goalkeeper on. It's still got to be Afobe's debut goal for Wolves.
Nah, good shout, good shout. Ryan, who you going for? Goal of the week.
Oh, I've not seen many goals, but I'm going to say it's Seb Larsson's free kick.
Great shout, great shout. Russ Vernon, have you got your goal of the week? Are you there?
I am there, Liam. My computer just froze on me when you came to me before, Liam.
Cool. Goal of the week. Who you going for? Goal of the week.
Goal for Leeds United against Blackpool in the 1-0 draw.
No, I hear that.
Not Blackpool, I mean Birmingham, sorry.
I heard that. When I saw Leeds losing, it did give me a chuckle. But they came back anyway, so it's one of them ones. Let's go on to team of the week. Jesse Fizzle's goal of the week was Pet of Stevenage. And his team of the week, West Ham / Crystal Palace. You know what? I want to go West Ham. I'm actually going to go West Ham as team of the week. Just purely on the basis, 2 wins through to the 4th round of the FA Cup as well. It's one of them ones. I'm definitely going for West Ham. Tom Wood, team of the week.
Gavin put us up really this week because of what we're doing, progressing up the football ladder.
Good shout. Kieran Riley, team of the week.
To be honest, it's got to be every team that paid respect to the late Sir Jack Hayward, and also, I can't believe I'm saying this, to West Bromwich Albion for actually paying a decent amount of respect. We have like one of the biggest rivalries ever in the back country, but fair play to them to show respect. So it's to everyone who showed respect to Jack Hayward.
Great shout. That's a fantastic shout. Mike Harniman, team of the week.
Yeah, I was going to kind of echo Kieran's sentiments as well as what I was going to say. But so obviously the footballing world for the sentiments there as well. And also, I'm going to give it to my 2 teams, Arsenal and Stevenage. Arsenal getting the win at City and Stevenage making their way into the playoffs. So, pretty good week.
I hear that. Team of the week, Ryan, who are you going for?
The mighty Middlesbrough, pushing up. They haven't lost since Christmas, since before Christmas, and they're on the verge of going back up to the Premiership, which I'm happy about.
I hear that. Russ Vernon, team of the week.
Real Madrid, 18 games played this season in La Liga, and they've already scored 62 goals, and they've got games in hand over Barca and Atletico Madrid as well.
Good stuff. Let's go on to flop of the week. Jesse Fizzle said the linesman in the Spurs v Sunderland game / David Ginola as flop of the week. Yeah, I would have to echo those statements. David Ginola / Paddy Power would get an honourable mention because well,
-5 stars
would be the rating that I would give to them. But because earlier today I actually had the feeling of
I don't know what the hell's going on here. Wait a minute. But I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
Because the Chilino situation gave me that kind of feeling. Hey, Massimo Chilino has to get flop of the week for me. Failed the appeal, which I said he shouldn't have even gotten to run Leeds in the first place. But I mean, I have to say Massimo Cellino for me. It's one of them ones. I have to go with that one. Flop of the week. Tom Wood, who you going for?
The fourth official that got Phil Brown sent to the stands for nothing.
No, I hear that. I was going to say that linesman in the Spurs v Sunderland match was a great shout from Chesney Fizzle. That decision was just atrocious. That decision can only be said that.
Hey, he stuck his leg!
That's all I'm saying. Kieran Riley, flop of the week.
As usual, Leeds for going down a goal after 8 minutes against Birmingham, but also to Manchester City.
Oh, okay, that's an interesting one. Ryan, who are you going for? Flop of the week.
My flop of the week, I'm going to hate saying this, is most of the Fargo squad, which is my hometown. They were all shocking.
Nah, it's a good shout. Mike Harniman, have you given us your flop of the week?
No, I haven't. And I'm going to agree with you. I'm going to give it to Cellino and Leeds. And just a little message to Mr. Russ Vernon. Who's calling who out now? I'm going to start calling you out after Cellino and Leeds and all this. Try calling me out on Wenger. Yeah, mate. Look at the league. Bottom of the championship, near enough. You'll be playing League One next year with Steamers, mate. Don't worry, and we'll beat you as well.
Ooh. This is what I was. That is. Oh my God. Who's calling who out? Speaking of Ross Vernon, your flop of the week to round out.
Yes, Liam, my flop of the week, I've got to agree with you. Massimo Cellino deserves flop of the week hands down. And also, going back to team of the week, I just want to give an honourable mention to Southampton because they've been unbeaten since the 20th of December.
Wait, who's your flop of the week? Who's your flop of the week? Because we're running low on time.
Massimo Cellino's my flop.
Nah, fair dues. Fair dues. But I find the flip-flopping absolutely astounding. But anyway, that's my personal opinion. I am the straight shooting one, and that is my opinion. But you know what? We have been your Monday Night Footballing Fix. We have been live for the last almost 3 hours. But you know what? It is one of them ones, baby. We've seen things that can be said.
Hey, he stuck his leg!
We've seen things that can be called that. We've seen things that. We've also seen other things that.
I don't know what the hell's going on here. Wait a minute! But I don't like it.
We've also seen things that are.
-5 stars!
As well. We've seen the absurd. We've seen the great and the good. Oh my God. It is one of them ones. But you know what? The fact of the matter is it is time to round out the show because once upon a time on a Monday, y'all, Pitch Talk was live, bringing football debates along with banter too. It is one of them ones. Remember, we are your Monday Night Footballing Fix. You know what? It is time to pause that track because it's time for us to start vacating the place with a hey. So it's time for...
Hi, I'm John Sitton and I'm here with Gavin, Liam and Gerald on Pitch Talk.
The football talk show that pulls no punches and holds back nothing on opinions.
Hello, I'm Rob Rest. My name is Christian Carambeu.
I'm grassroots coach Manisha Taylor.
Hi, I'm Matt Hodgson, director of the 4-year plan, and you're listening to Pitch Talk, the only place to get your Monday night footballing fix.
Make sure you join the revolution.
The pitch is where we eat.
The pitch is where we sleep.
And the pitch is where we talk.
I'm Andy Copeland from the Glemnet Southern Amateur League.
Philip Wick, I'm CEO of 14.
I'm Rob Lusher, former chairman of Ibis FC.
I'm Samir Sawney, co-founder and co-director of Motivate Sports and Fitness.
And you're listening
And you're listening to Pitch Talk.
It's Adebayo's! It's Adebayo's! JB O'Hara! It's Adebayo's! Big shout out to Kieran Riley on that one because that was funny. That was actually... I forgot about that. That was actually hilarious. And just like that... no. But, you know, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Straight Shooting LJ, the G-Man and Jezzy Fizzle have proudly brought to you once again tonight the football talk show that pulls no punches and holds back nothing on opinions, because the pitch is where we eat, the pitch is where we sleep, and the pitch is where we talk. Big time shout outs to Girls on the Ball, Motivate Sports and Fitness, and also Thin White Line magazine as well. I told him a bit. One of them was big time shout outs to Ian Kerr of Thin White Line magazine, and big shouts for the A-League roundup focusing on the Asian Cup as well. You know what? www.pitch-talk.com. We've been live via mixler.com/pitch-talk. We've been live, audio only for the past couple of weeks, but it is one of them ones. We have had a lot of fun live with your Monday Night Footballing Fix. Oh my God, www.pitch-talk.com is the official website for everything Pitch Talk. Have a look at what we're doing. Remember, at Pitch Talk on Twitter. Tweet with us, follow us, see what we are up to. So, man, we're always trying to give the fans a platform, especially fans such as Brad Hicks on Twitter, who said his player of the week is Oscar, goal of the week, Ben Osborne, team of the week, Watford, and flop of the week, Swansea and Charlton. It's one of them ones. Fantastic stuff. You know what? It is one of them ones. www.pitch-talk.com is the official website. It is one of them ones. At Pitch Talk on Twitter, twitter.com/Pitch Talk. Join the revolution, facebook.com/Pitch Talk. Become a fan, become a friend, become a member of the group. Join the footballing revolution we are working so hard to create. And don't make us have to come and find you and give you
-5 stars
for not supporting the footballing revolution we are working so hard to create. Also, big time shout outs to pitchtalk.blogspot.co.uk and all the bloggers, or .com, and all the bloggers, including Dave Meir, aka @MeirC on Twitter. His latest blogs on Leeds United, the team he supports. He's finally revealed who he supports, as well as it's on his blog. Also, youtube.com/Pitch Talk for all the latest videos, including Pitch Talk meets Sahel Raymond. Also, in February, we will be releasing Pitch Talk meets Girls on the Ball. Keep your eyes out for that. And also, very, very soon, we'll be interviewing Dave McLaughlin, chairman of Alexandra Park FC. Pitch Talk meets Dave McLaughlin chairman of Southern Amateur League side, actually 14 Southern Amateur League side, Alexandra Park FC. We'll be interviewing him very soon. Get your questions in as soon as possible. Also, 07535804466 is the mobile number. Call us, text us, let us know your views. And remember, Pitch Talk 1, we are live on Skype every single week. Join Mike Harniman, Ross Vernon, Tom Wood, Ryan, Jaymie Bailey, Dave Meir, aka @MeirC, Ian Kerr of Thin White Line was on with us as well, Kieran Riley, Wayne Schumann, and many, many others as well. You know what? I have been Straight Shooting LJA. On behalf of myself, the G-Man, and Jezzy Fizzle, we have been bringing you your Monday Night Football and Fix. Thank you very much for joining us, people. Remember, if someone flops, they're always going to get
-5 stars
on our show. I've been Straight Shooting LJ. Thank you very much. Good night.